The outtakes we're having.
That felt kind of good.
It's because I'm in the studio, boys.
Oh, it's time.
You know, once I get back in here.
Ooh,
here we go. We're back. We're live.
Pull over.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo.
You're listening to MMA Fight Radio with our host, Jay the Big Jayboski Pagliaro, along with co-host Sean Dallas Hall. Produced by Penny Buffington. MMA Fight Radio is sponsored by Nationwide Auto Warranties, covering any make, model, or mileage vehicle. And now, here's our show with Jay and Dallas.
Spring training ain't the only thing to be back in town. Here in the Valley of the Sun, the boys are back here on MMA Fight Radio. Live at True Story Studios here in beautiful Tempe, AZ. I am your host, the illustrious one, the one and only Big Jay Boski, Jay Pagliaro, scoring more than Wilt Chamberlain on a Saturday night, baby.
And Friday.
Don't they play on
Okay.
Sundays?
Wilt Chamberlain
Well,
played
he
every
scores
day, bro.
After Chamberlain.
Yeah.
How many
I'm
times?
just playing.
15,000?
20,000
Way
times.
more than
20,000 times.
How many?
20,000 times.
Supposedly.
20,000
20,000
times?
times.
20,000 women.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
20,000.
That's why they
Yeah.
called him the stilt, bro.
How many men?
1,000.
You lie. How you just
He's
made
not here
that
to
up?
No,
defend
the
himself.
women
We
thing
can't talk
is real, though.
Will Chamberlain?
20,000 women.
What about Magic Johnson?
Well, Magic
Oh.
wouldn't release his number after he got the three letters. Once the three letters came out.
Hi!
That's 4 letters.
All right,
But-
what a way to start off this festivity show again. This show,
Sorry,
festivities,
Magic
folks.
Johnson.
Sorry,
This
This
Magic.
was an MMA show.
Hey, we're a jack of all trades and a master of none
I
here
like
on
Jack.
MMA Fight Radio. But hey, it's Jay, Big Jay Boski Pagliaro, and back by popular demand, the man, the myth, the legend, harder than the water in his hometown of Flint, Michigan, SDH Sean Dallas, motherfucking Hall. SDH,
Man.
what's going on, brother?
Dude, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm super happy. I appreciate it.
Miss
Thank
you.
you. I missed all you guys. I know I missed the
You
first
didn't
2
miss
shows.
me.
Hey,
Well, you weren't here when I
To
was here
miss.
last time. 2 minutes.
Yeah, the time I came, you
Yeah.
didn't come.
I was
Why
That's
you-
why
I was
you-
out of town for work, and then I had
okay.
surgery the one time before that.
So I know before that.
Yeah.
That's going well.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad to hear
I was
that.
back in action a couple
Living
days
life.
later.
he was back in action right before surgery. It was at the UFC with us.
Yeah.
He was at
Right
the UFC
after.
event. Right, was that right after
Right
surgery?
after,
He was at the
yeah.
UFC
Yeah,
event
that
that we were.
was crazy.
I
He's
don't play around.
hardcore. He's hardcore,
Yeah.
man. But speaking of
But
hardcore,
it's good. You got to be a little crazy to be involved in this
I do. I
whole
believe so.
industry. But you know,
To be successful, at least.
Wait, it's all about loving life.
But speaking of loving life and being hardcore, the gentleman to our very left is a man represented by Shannon's. What is this, Jay? What is this called? Shannon's
Kitchen?
Shannon's Kitchen. The man, the myth, the icon, former ASU wrestling coach, former coach of superstars in MMA, movie star, dinosaur hunter extraordinaire, the Hispanic sensation,
Wow.
Mr. Thom Ortiz. Thom, welcome back, man. After the last time, I wasn't sure you'd want to come back and join this party again.
Why? It was torture, but I loved it. Every moment was like.
Were you
what
here
was
with
gonna
Tyrell
come-
last time?
Yeah, you know
Oh,
Tyrell.
jeez. I can't believe you're back.
But his insight, I would say, is pretty spot on. He's got
Yeah,
a
he's
good.
really
He's
good.
got a good eye, and I appreciated that.
Yeah,
That's important in fighting because you got to be smart,
That's
or else you
it.
get your head knocked off.
So this is what we got going on for 2 hours, man. We got Thom, and of course we got Jersey Shore's finest. We were talking about Snooki earlier. We were talking about JWoww. It's the CO, Carlos
GTL,
Ortiz.
baby.
No
GTL.
relation to Thom Ortiz.
No
Yeah.
I was
relation.
wondering.
Yeah.
That we
You guys
know
are
of.
related?
He just
No.
Brothers
you
from a
were.
different mother.
we both kind of look like my dad, though. Well, my
Huh.
dad.
Huh.
Love you, father. Just a joke. Just saying, you know.
Did your-
Sometimes I wonder.
Maybe did your dad deliver newspapers or
No.
Was he a delivery man?
No,
Was he a
but he
mailman?
was a plumber.
Hey now.
And he- you know what they
now.
say about
He
the
was
plumbers,
known
right?
for plunging.
Pipe.
God
They
bless
lay
your
pipe.
father.
You can lay the pipe.
He could lay the pipe, and he knew how to hit them cracks, baby.
You know what? He always had his draws pretty high. I noticed that he's always cover your ass.
More ways than
Okay,
one.
Dad.
Speaking of covering ass,
You always
folks,
said
hey,
that.
we've got so much stuff to talk about on this show. I hear there were some fights last weekend we're talking about. I hear that there's a new champion in the 170-pound division in the UFC. Here there might even have been a brawl afterwards. We're also going to talk about a famous professional boxer moving over to bare knuckles. Talking about a legend, a friend of this show, who's getting back into the cage one more time, and we're going to ask why and debate that. We're also going to talk a little bit about, the welterweight division with the man who knows that division quite well, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He'll be joining us next segment to talk about his big fight with Anthony Pettis coming up here in March 23rd in Nashville, Tennessee.
170.
170, yes, sir.
Wow.
And much, much more. We're also going to be joined by a man who struck out Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter. Guy pitched in the major leagues for several years, was an up-and-coming star in the baseball ranks. Unfortunately,
So he
injuries.
dunked on Michael Jordan?
He dunked on him. He
he struck him out.
Yes, sir.
Remember
Byron
when-
Browne, he'll be joining
Does
us
that
here in the
still
studio. Former Milwaukee
Jordan went to
Brewer
that
Byron
baseball
Browne.
thing, remember?
Now he's slinging beers and making movies.
Who's that?
Byron Browne, our guest, will be coming in.
awesome.
Slinging beers?
Yeah, he does beers, too.
Oh, I like my kind
Good
of guy.
dude.
I'm looking forward to talking to him.
I'm looking here. Maybe he'll bring some beers.
Maybe he will.
Send it in the mail.
Anything not quite as good
Amazon.
as not quite as good as Shannon's Kitchen there,
this
folks.
is cocoa va, too.
Yeah, what is
is
that
that?
like?
Coconut with vanilla.
Dude, I gotta share that
All
shit.
made
Bro.
with.
You guys-
This is for you guys.
Oh, you're a
You-
gentleman, bro.
you-
You're a
eat-
gentleman.
If you can eat it now, if
Classy
you want,
man.
but it's really good.
I don't know if he wants us crunching on oatmeal
Crunch.
while we're at
I am going to tell you.
At halftime.
Speaking of-
break.
There was no
There we
crunching
go.
on oatmeal last Saturday night in Las Vegas, but there was a lot of bone crunching. In two title bouts, we saw the birth of a new star. We'll talk about him in a little bit. A guy who I think could be challenging John Jones for that 205-pound title sooner rather than later. But, hey, it was John Jones' night, man. He defeats Anthony Smith by unanimous decision to retain his UFC light heavyweight title. Anthony gave it a valiant effort. I think Anthony went in there and, did about as well as Anthony's going to do against John Jones. But at the end
Or
of the day,
anybody
Jones
else.
is too damn good. Jones is the best in the sport for a reason, and he showed it on Saturday night. But I will give Anthony credit. He could have taken the yeoman's way out when he took that knee. He could have easily backed out, and, it happened, I believe, Dallas, was it the fourth round?
fourth round.
Took the illegal knee, could have taken the disqualification and got out, said, no, I don't want to win that way. I'd rather lose than win in that matter. Gained a lot of fans, but at the end of the day, John Jones takes home the winner's check, Dallas.
Look, and here's to me why I think that every state should be on the same rule set. I mean, I think Vegas was on the old rule set, which means that even with one hand down, you're a downed opponent. If that would have been in California, that would have been a legal knee. That would have been in Arizona, that would have been a legal knee.
So one hand, you can knee him?
Yeah.
But-
It's because his feet were down. Any knee. So if you say
Was his knees down?
nope. So he
that's
had his
legal.
feet and a hand.
Oh, that's legal, dog.
So that's legal, right? Here's legal. In
And
California,
so he
it's
knows
illegal.
that. So he did the honorable
Las
thing.
Vegas,
so you
it's
have
not.
to respect fighters like that. Like after Francis and Kane, they got up and talked, and there were
Right.
these two giants, saying, "Hey, I did this for my aunt," and they're very humble.
Right.
So I think that shows Johnson's being humble
Right.
rather than.
Class.
But John Jones'
Full
range
class.
is off the hook,
Bro,
man.
the
It's
thing
too
John
much
Jones-
frickin' range, and you have to give it to Jackson and Winklejohn and Israel Martinez. They have incorporated a game plan for him that utilizes his wrestling.
Six-gun
but-
Gibson.
Yeah, that's true. That range, and so they've created that coaching staff is pretty is pretty good.
You know
what I mean? I got my son. He's like 7 years old, and I'm like searching for people and stuff because he said I want to play college football and fight. I'm like
Right.
But that team they created, and with John Jones, and sometimes takes it to a new level. It's not
Sure.
like boxing. You know what I mean? Where a boxer can maybe change a little, but there's so many mechanics to MMA compared to the other combat sports, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. It's all of those
Right.
in there.
The thing about John Jones is so good that he makes everybody in there with him a spectator as well, right? So that's what I noticed about Smith in there, and almost everybody. He's doing so much that when you're in there fighting him, it's almost like you're watching him, trying to figure him out at the same time, and you just get so puzzled that you just can't do anything.
You know a fight we never saw that would I think would be the John Jones' greatest test? Who do you think?
Rumble Johnson.
See,
We never saw that.
I think we're gonna see it
Cormier
with
beat
Big
him
Hammer
twice.
chest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking myself. Is what's next for John Jones? There is two guys that are coming off the bat. Dallas, I know you wanted to get some valuable points in there, so please, by all means, and then we'll talk about what might be
I
next for Jones.
forgot his name off the top of my head.
Marietta Santos, Tiago Santos.
Yeah, Tiago Santos. See, this is what I think. The only way that you can have somebody to beat John Jones is they literally have to go in there and not care. They have to go in there and say, you know what, I'm going at you 100%, here we go. If you're gonna knock me out,
You
you
gotta
better
make it a
knock me
street
out.
fight.
Yeah, we're brawling. I'm throwing hammers at you, and
Because
here
if
they
you try
come.
to like maneuver with
You
them,
cannot. You're gonna lose every time.
You got to make it like a
Every
bear
time. It's got to be
brawl. You gotta
ugly.
just
It's got to be
fucking
nasty. You got to throw
uppercuts
hard
and-
shots. It's gonna be. Yeah.
There
And
is-
you know the way he enters too is fucking phenomenal. He shoots that fucking Olympic style double leg. I'm
Right.
like,
I am going to tell you, there is one fighter that fought Saturday night that I think could give John Jones a hell of a fight. Now, I don't think he's ready right now,
No.
Oh, yeah.
but I think you give him another year or two. I think this kid he's quickly shot up the ranks as, from Dana White's Contender Series to
What's his weight?
superstardom. He's a 205er.
I know, but I mean, what's his record?
I believe he's
He's
13-1,
13-1,
14-1.
13,
yeah.
14-1.
Johnny Walker, who
Johnny
just once
Walker.
again just picked up a huge win over Misha Turkinov.
Where is he?
He's out of he's a
Yeah,
Brazilian.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yes,
Doing
sir.
his
His
technique,
nickname's it's sort of like Antonio Nogueira. It's like Big Nog. He goes by the
I'm
nickname
thinking
Johnny.
the only one that's going to beat John Jones is like a Brazilian.
But I mean,
Yeah.
this
'Cause
guy.
they put so many out, the 205. Because if a guy's big enough to be 205 in America, he's going to play football.
Right.
You know what I mean? That
He's got to be coming
John
from somewhere
Jones
else.
has like
Right.
NFL caliber. Like,
Well, it's both of his brothers playing
Well,
the
that's my
NFL.
point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That his caliber of athleticism,
For sure.
you know,
It,
then
it,
that
it calculates to other sports in America.
twist- Oh my god.
That's where the money is, right?
Well,
But John
yeah.
Jones figured out a way to make money doing this. I mean, he makes a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, no,
When he doesn't get
that's
himself in
obvious.
trouble.
I mean, he still made a lot of money. He made a lot of money on Saturday, that's for sure.
He did. He continues to make a lot of money and make the UFC a lot of money. Another big win for John Jones. I imagine, Dallas, you mentioned him. I think Santos has probably got to be next for him, Thiago
Yeah.
Santos. Interesting style matchup because Thiago does hit hard for a long period of time. The guy doesn't run out of gas. He'll hit you hard. I question,
killer.
though, what's his ground game like? Because,
That's it,
I mean,
right?
that's what Jones is going to take you to the ground sooner rather than later, and that's
What
Jones'
is
bread
his
and
ground
butter.
game, do you know?
I mean, I'm sure it's decent. I think he's got a brown belt. I
Yeah,
think.
he's no slouch on the ground.
But his
I
I mean, wrestling, who knows, right? You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to is can you have an overall grappling game, not necessarily am I a jiu-jitsu black belt. You got to be able to wrestle. You got to be able to do jiu-jitsu. You got to be able to transition.
Here's the
You got to
second
do
thing.
all those things.
Here's the second thing. If I'm fighting Carlos and I'm looking at him, and he
I'd
kicks
pay
me-
to see that, Tom.
and,
I'd pay-
and he kicks me
Look
in
at-
the face from right there, that's gonna fuck with me a little bit. And no one's ever had the range like. Why am I over there?
I don't know.
I was
you
trying to
did
be
it.
cool. Let me like James
Trying to be
Brown.
cool, trying to-
James Brown. Hot tub.
Hot tub. Hit me.
Hit me.
Pay back.
Yeah, but you're right. The
So
range changes.
what were we talking about?
John, I think where John Jones is so phenomenal and where he gets most people is that at that range he attacks you in all three different areas. He'll attack the legs, he'll attack the body, he'll attack the head. And he'll go back to the legs, he'll go to the
he did
body, he'll
that
go to the legs,
Khmer,
he'll go to
kicked
the
him right
head,
in the
go to the
head.
body, go to the head, go to the legs, go to the head. And he just keeps you guessing, man. You have no clue what's coming next.
That's what I mean. Is he going to be able to fight through that?
Santos is going to bull rush. I mean, Santos
I know,
coming.
but when you
He's
start
coming.
you get kicked in the liver and you
Right.
you can get backed up a little.
That's what I mean. It's
and
gonna be quick.
So it's a gut check.
It's going to be a quick fight.
Have we seen anybody really hit John Jones hard
John's
like
either
that?
going to knock him
That's
out.
because he hits you from so far
He
away.
doesn't give
it
you
changes
time
your
to.
perception.
Right. He doesn't give you the time.
He's not
to.
going to stand there. He stands cocked, but then so does everybody else. So then when he lets go, it's like he's stretch
And he's
man.
always playing that
Fantastic
little hand
Four.
game with you,
Boop.
too. And he knows he's got the reach, so he plays that little hand game with
yeah,
you.
and people grab his hand. I
Yeah,
don't
like,
know
what
why
are you
they do
doing?
that.
Stop.
Let go of that.
Stop. Like,
Duck.
that's what he wants you to do.
Then he kicks
So
you
that
in
way
the
he
teeth.
knows, okay, now I can kick you. No, now I can hit you here. You know what I mean?
So-
Dude, he kind of looks like Lou Alcindor. Remember
Lou
that? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Oh my God! Why did I say Lou Alcindor? That
That's
tripped
his
me out.
career.
That was
Bro,
his
I think
he
you're
was
talking
Lou
about John
Alcindor.
Jones. Looks like
Well,
Lou
you guys are
Alcindor.
talking about Will Chamberlain and all the ladies and stuff,
Yeah.
and Magic Johnson.
So I guess that makes him Larry Bird, right?
so
Hey,
That makes Dallas
legend,
Larry Bird.
baby.
So I'm-
Larry
French
Bird.
Lick, Indiana.
Yeah. No, you'd rather be like
I'll be
what was
Larry
that dude
Bird
from
all day.
Detroit Pistons?
Oh, Bill
Lambier.
Lambier. Bill Lambier.
That dude
You wanna
was
be
a
Bill Lambier?
dog. I used to like that.
So
dude,
does that mean
man.
you're Charles Oakley?
Who?
You.
He's Rodman.
You're Dennis Rodman, right? You just got to get
No,
the
I'm
pink
not
hair and
Dennis
shit like
Rodman.
that.
Dog. I don't wear that.
I guess I'm the.
You're
I
not
guess
gonna
I'm.
wear a
I
dress?
guess I'm.
No.
I guess I'm
Not
John
no more.
Stockton then, because I'm the point guard of this bitch,
Oh,
right?
that's right.
Let's roll it.
Shoot.
Pick
And
and
you're the
roll,
power
baby.
forward. You're the pick and roll. I'm the pick.
I'm
You're
the
the roll.
mailman.
Yep. We got this team. We got this team.
Bang.
But speaking of teams, man, it was a big night for the former Black Zillions on Saturday night. Moving gears, man, we've got a new UFC 170-pound champion. Kamaru Usman gets in there and not only beats Woodley,
Marty.
but does so in a dominant, decisive fashion. We've got about less than 2 minutes to go. Dallas Hall, were you surprised at how easy that looked for Usman? Because let's be honest, we'd seen Woodley lose before, but not that emphatically.
You know, it reminded me of the Condit fight. You know, for me, like that's what, not the Condit, but the Roy McDonald fight. Yeah. He just couldn't pull the trigger, and he was in his own head so much. He was constantly looking for the perfect shot, as opposed to finding it or putting stuff out there and then the shot. You know, I'd say it would come to you. The openings show up when you put stuff out there. And Usman gave him no chance, not even a second to breathe. Even when he kept getting stood up, you see Tyron Woodley didn't want to turn around, Usman would be on him. Yeah. Even before the referee would be like, oh, God, you got to turn around. Mark Guy was like, turn around, Tyron, turn around. He's like, I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like, so he'd turn around. As soon as he turned around, go, Usman's on him. Already back on him. He's up against the fence.
Well, I got to say, man, it is, those wondering, it's a long road back to the top for Tyron Woodley. You're talking a guy that really, and I don't mean to demean the guy because he had such a great run as a welterweight champ, but, man, this was a pretty rough fall from grace because I don't think he gets an immediate rematch, and you know I usually vouch for that, Dallas, but in this case, I don't think he should because he was beaten so emphatically that I don't know if they fight another
One
time.
of the
we're not
rounds
gonna see
was
the difference.
50-44?
Yeah, he ragdolled him.
Fight was
he ragdolled him.
Well, you know what? I'm unsure about the rematch or not. Maybe he fights some other guy to get.
Well, he's probably going to fight Covington because they almost got into it.
Covington's fighting Usman.
Yeah. Covington's fighting Usman.
Yeah,
Till fights Masvidal.
That's what I was meaning. Is Covington's fighting
our next
Usman.
Guest.
Yeah.
I'm saying Woodley, and he's going to have to fight someone else and then fight the title winner.
Right.
I think that's fair.
Here's
Just give him a one-off.
He's going to have to fight the loser of Till.
When we get back, we're going to talk about this more, but I want to throw a proposition there. But not a proposition, but my thoughts on Woodley because let me tell you, it's tough to throw him in there, but we'll talk about that here coming back from the break. Hey, I'd like to take this opportunity to give thanks to our good friend from Thom Ortiz. It's at Shannon's Kitchen. Check out some of this fantastic-looking food here, folks. I mean, this is Cocoa Va. It looks good. We're going to tell you, Dallas, we're going to eat one after the break. We're going to eat one during the break and tell them how good. You just ate? Yeah, you had Chick-fil-A. You can have one of them little bad boys.
Ugh. All right. I was hungry. What are you going to do?
Hey, food is food. When you're hungry, it's food. But when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. You're listening to MMA Fight Radio here at First Story Studios. True Story Studios, here in beautiful Tempe, Arizona. More MMA Fight Radio up next.
We have ourselves a fight! Saturday, April 27th, live from SAP Center in San Jose. The opening round of Bellator's welterweight Grand Prix continues when the champ Rory McDonald with that elbow strike takes on dangerous challenger John Finch. Plus, undefeated flyweight champion Alima Lay McFarland looks for her third title defense against Vida Ortega.
I am the best in the world. Nobody's going to take this belt from me.
Bellator MMA, live April 27th from SAP Center in San Jose. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, I'm Di with the Di for Gourmet Caramel Corn, and we're based out of Avondale. We have been with Barterworks now for about 5 years or so. Had some great bargains that we get by bartering. For instance, our shirts, my hats, bartered. Been on vacation because you know you can only work so much and you got to get out of here. So I can't say enough about the company or Lori, who is the owner. She has always gone above and beyond, and the times that maybe she didn't have something available, found it. So if you're on the fence about barter, don't be. Give Lori and Barterworks a shot. You won't be disappointed.
Are you paying unexpected costly repair bills on your car? Need an extended auto warranty? Look no further than Nationwide Auto Warranties. Any make, model, or mileage vehicles, they've got you covered. Protect yourself now or pay for costly repairs later. We obtain factory-like coverage for your used vehicle. Extend your original factory warranty. Most vehicles, makes, and models qualify. Nationwide Auto Warranties average $500 to $1,000 less than dealers. Visit nationwideautowarranties.com or call 623-935-7988 for a free no-obligation quote.
Today, Rob is the man. He's headed to work for a promotion. Rob doesn't realize the importance of a reliable warranty. Any make, model, or mileage. $500 to $1,000 less than the dealers. Don't let an unexpected repair ruin your day. Today, Rob is not the man, but tomorrow he can be. Call 1-866-352-4999 for a free quote or go to nationwidewarranties.com.
MMA Fight Night Radio is coming to you live from Studio 1A at True Story Studios in Tempe. And now, more from the boys. It's Jay and Dallas.
Yeah.
Michael, I want you to take a close-up
Would
shot
love
of
it.
this here. This here, I asked
No such
Mr.
thing,
Ortiz
bro.
during the break, can I try one of these? Because for the last two shows, we've talked about how good these are. We've heard Thom say how good these are. I took a bite of these things, man. This is, and Carlos, you can vouch for this, man. This is some good stuff. I mean, this is all natural. It's clean tasting. It's got just enough sweetener to it, but it doesn't taste like
It's honey.
It's honey. The natural sweetness of it, to where
From bees.
if you want to lose some weight, if you want to keep the weight
From
off,
lizards.
if you want a good healthy snack, I highly recommend this. Tom, we got to talk out
my
there. I got
wife.
to get more of these,
Yeah,
man.
it's $8 a
Snake
bag.
honey.
$8 a bag is
And-
worth every dime.
and there's a family discount for 6. So my family's kind of big. I think we're gonna cut the discount and charge them double. No, but this is if you guys want to take this, you can have this.
Man, what a
And
gem.
then it's best with raw milk.
Raw milk.
And then or whipped
Well,
cream. My
coconut
wife
milk.
also makes some.
So how's-
Coconut milk.
raw milk's the
What's-
best. My wife makes some whipped cream with heavy
Lactose
cream.
isn't good for you, bro.
No, but with raw milk, it's not
I'm not a
it's
baby
not
cow.
the lactose. You know what it is? It's the pasteurization.
So what
the
about
process.
I'm not a baby cow.
So
I know,
not
but the
so
pasteurization
not
fucks
no
it
almond
up.
milk with that. I mean, raw milk versus almond milk.
I don't drink almond milk because it's really not almonds. It says that they just put a pint of almond in. They call it almond milk.
It's mostly water.
It's like that. I am milk, soy milk. Your soy milk,
Gotcha.
soy milk.
So
soy milk.
last segment we were talking
Soy
about
milk.
soy milk.
I am milk. Why is it saying I am milk?
We
Okay, I'm
got
happy for it.
Steven yet?
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
he's the man.
So
But go ahead.
while we're waiting for that last segment, we were talking about what could be next for Woodley. He's got to fight another fighter or two. But here's the problem that we face with Woodley. If you look at the rankings in the UFC's welterweight division, you've got Colby Covington at 2, which him and Usman are they're throwing down.
Yeah, they're set.
Then you look at the rankings. You got Darren Till. He's already beat him decisively. You've got Stephen Thompson. I love Stephen. Stephen's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. He's beat him twice. Do we want to see that? I mean, he beat him. He beat him once, and then they had to,
Draw.
the draw the first time.
Yes, sir.
But, you get my drift. He's already beaten him. You got Rafael Dos Anjos, maybe.
That would be a good fight.
Maybe.
Because
Good fight
Rafael
coming up.
puts up a fight.
Rafael puts up a fight.
You know what I like about that guy? When I met him, he has a high belief in himself. You know who
Yeah,
he
he does.
reminds me of? He reminds me of Henry Cejudo. That's Henry's trick, that he believes in himself so much that he makes it happen.
Absolutely. So then beyond that, you've got Askren, which they're not going to fight. And Askren's probably fighting Lawler again, which we're going to talk about that fight
I don't
plenty
think
for
so.
here.
I don't think that happens.
I don't
gonna
think
fight
so
Phil?
either.
Then you've got Santiago.
I think-
Here's a good one. Santiago Ponzinibbio.
That's a good fight.
That's a
for him.
solid fight. You've got the Robbie Lawler match, which he's been there, done that. You got Damian Maia. I don't think any of us ever want to see that
No.
fiasco again. Leon Edwards, Jorge
Dos Anjos
Masvidal.
versus Woodley.
So I think Dos Anjos
Call
is the
main
one.
event.
I think that's the best one.
Ponzinibbio Woodley's a good fight.
I'd like
too.
to see Ponzinibbio actually
That's a
because
good
I think
fight, too.
Ponzinibbio's trending upwards.
Ponzinibbio's a beast.
He's trending upwards.
What's his record?
You see what
Ponzinibbio.
he did to Mike Perry?
Oh,
Man,
yeah,
he
yeah.
put the work on
Dude,
Mike
he's
Perry.
grossly underrated too. Ponzinibbio
Ponzinibbio's
is
a
he's
beast.
ridiculously underappreciated. Believe he's 19-3. Tom, I'm going to get the exact record here off UFC.com. This guy has been. I mean, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. He's been on an upward.
He lost. He just lost not too long ago,
28-3.
though, right?
28. No, he hasn't lost in a while, bro.
Are you sure? I think he lost.
Yeah, let me double check on this. But
Yeah,
he's
you might wanna
20,
check on
28 and 3.
I feel like he lost because he beat Mike Perry, and then
We're going to look it up here
I
on.
think I thought he lost to somebody after that. But
Here
I
is
could be
according
wrong.
to Wikipedia's track record, which Wikipedia they're not good about much, but they're usually good about mixed martial arts record. You're
Oh,
talking a
here-
guy that hasn't lost since 2015 to Lorenz Larkin.
Oh, yeah, Lorenz Larkin, he lost to, yeah.
But
Who did
since
he fight after
he
Perry?
beat Magny, he knocked
Neil
Neil
Magny, that's
Magny
right.
out. So I mean,
Yeah.
this guy, you're talking. You look at the guys he's beat: Court McGee, Zach Cummings, Nordine Talib, Gunnar Nelson. Of
He
course, the
beat-
Mike Perry fight.
He
Neil
smoked
Magny.
Gunnar Nelson,
He's
too.
beaten some pretty solid fighters there. I wouldn't mind seeing him versus Woodley. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, or the loser of the Till the Till Masvidal match. Whoever loses that would be a good fight for Woodley.
Do you want to see Woodley versus Till again if that were to
No,
happen?
because I personally, I think it's going to probably go the other direction. So I think the Woodley versus Masvidal would be fantastic.
I'd like to see Woodley Masvidal.
That'd be fantastic.
Isn't Masvidal fighting someone?
He's fighting Darren Till in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we got Stephen
So
Thompson
Till
coming on
versus
here.
Askren and Masvidal versus Woodley.
Dana says that we're going to see We're going to see
Lawler,
Askren versus
Askren.
Lawler too. After what happened on Saturday night, the questionable stoppage.
Well, why was it
Askren
questionable?
denied
Who said it was questionable?
See, I agree, man. You want to get in?
Let's talk about it while we get into Stephen Thompson on the air. Those of you that did not see on Saturday night.
So here's what you need to look at during this. I'm sure that I know you wanted to set us up for
please,
it.
by all means, brother.
But
Set
what
us
you need
up
to
for
look
what,
at
Thompson?
for this, okay? Everybody's talking about the choke wasn't underneath the chin. It doesn't have to be underneath the chin if the chin is facing away from the body, okay? Since his chin was facing away from the body and he had it on there, there's not even really an escape for that. There's no way to get out of a bulldog choke where you're.
The only way is
With
you
the
got to break his hands.
Right.
So you have the only
And you're
way
talking
is
about-
to break. You're talking.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to break
No.
Askren's hands. So if he had just waited for probably 5 more seconds, Lawler would have went.
Right.
Here's the thing is
But
about it.
it looked like, oh shit.
Tom said the dog came in here. Cappy, go
Who
ahead.
let
Tom.
the dog?
But yeah, so when you look at it like that, had his head been turned in towards him, right?
Mhm.
He could have turned around. He could have got to his back. You know what I mean? He could have got away from it.
He was stuck.
Right, but he was stuck. He was out.
He was going to sleep. If he
He was
didn't,
going
if
to
Turb
sleep.
didn't
If
stop
he
it,
wasn't
was
asleep,
going to
he was going to sleep.
So, I mean, I will give Lawler a ton of credit. He handled it like a true professional
Yes,
after
he
the
did.
initial hang. But to me, the stoppage, as you said, Dallas, it was fair. If he didn't go to sleep then, he was going to go to sleep sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And
I
I mean,
thought Askren won.
but I think that they're gonna run it back. We'll see if things go different. I think what the biggest thing Askren showed me on Saturday night is exactly heart and a chin of. I mean, listen, when Robbie Lawler hits you, it is not a good day in the office. Robbie Lawler is one of the nastiest strikers in all of MMA in terms of pure power. Askren ate some of his best shots and still fought through. That guy has got. He talks to talk, but believe me, if you didn't believe he could walk it before, he certainly did on Saturday
His
night. Dallas Hall.
ability, I was super impressed with his ability to stop the first offensive wrestling onslaught, right? Because Askren almost had his back within the first 8-9 seconds of the fight, right? He got to it and then picked him up. I mean, you know what I mean? He elevated him super and then boom, slammed
Yeah,
right.
that's a classic case of like sloth versus explosion.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a good game, and I think that's why they're going to have him fight again. Because if they do fight again, Lawler has the potential to sleep his ass.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because
almost did.
But Askren, that sloth versus the explosion, and because that's what Askren had him. He was just blah, 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 and then Lawler did the only thing he could. I'm just gonna pick this dude up
Right.
and slam him.
Right.
Because in wrestling you can't slam like
Right.
that. That's illegal in the American wrestling. So when you pick up someone like that and you have an opportunity to slam him, you're trying to take him out.
And I know, I mean, listen, Askren. That's a
Yeah,
tough
but
opponent for him.
Askren's tough as shit,
Askren
dude.
has
I
got
knew he
balls
was
the
gonna
size
come
of Minnesota, dude.
Yeah. Wow. That's
He's
pretty-
always been tough.
He's got brass. He's got brass. And
Well,
I mean,
also I knew once he got him against the cage, like that, it was going to be difficult.
and I want to
What's that?
give Devil his due too on this. Herb Dean, a lot of other referees, if this is Mazzagatti, we're ripping him 6 ways from Sunday. Being it's Herb Dean is traditionally. I mean, listen, we're going to throw way back here. Herb Dean's diligence is what stopped that Tim Sylvia Frank Mir fight back in the day. Nobody saw that broken arm, but except for Herb Dean. Dean is one of the best in the business of that. And if Dean said that was in deep and Lawler wasn't getting out, who were any of us to say otherwise?
I think I watched the Gracie breakdown of it. And those guys do a great job of that stuff, breaking down those chokes and breaking down the different positions of it.
Yeah.
And that's what he even said too. Is he even said that, hey, I think Herb Dean at the time was thinking the same thing I am. If his head was turned the opposite direction, then there's maybe 1 or 2 escapes to that position, right?
He wasn't getting out.
Right, but his head was completely outside, and it was on there, and it was. I mean, it was tight.
And
I mean,
you know
it
what?
was super tight.
Askren has a grip.
Right, you saw him even on
imagine.
Instagram. You saw him. He smashed 2 watermelons. Right, just yesterday. He did. He was on the Instagram.
What
He
was
had
he
2
doing?
watermelons. He just gripped them in his chest and smashed 2 watermelons.
He did.
He smashed 2 watermelons?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just with his
that's
grip.
why, you know what? You know how sometimes, like, you train with a guy and you know they're good? Because I knew him from wrestling. We used to train at the old Lion's Den.
Oh, yeah.
On Scottsdale right there. We'd training together. And because neither one of us could strike, so it was 2 wrestlers. We'd be punching and kicking each other, and I'm getting the better of him. And it looked like you know the Taekwondo kids when they hit each other. It looked like me and him looked like those 2. Bonk, 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 bonk.
Tom, what the hell went on at the ASU wrestling gym match, bro?
And then you know what? He just grabbed me and like threw me down. I was like, oh shit, this shit's real.
All right.
No, but he like grabbed me and threw me down. I was like, oh.
Everybody, I mean, everybody I've ever talked to that has grappled with him.
No, he's phenomenal. He's
Yeah.
like you know what's that? You know, like when the wrench or a winch. You know,
Yep.
he's like that. So when he gets his hand on you, he goes, pulls
Right.
it in. That's his thing. It's more sloth-like, but like Lawler, man, he'll lose the explosion. It'll be interesting. They fight again. It's a toss-up still.
He's not going to take it, though. I don't think he will.
I don't think he will.
I don't either.
Hey, Weili Zhang picks up a big win over Tisha Torres. That's a name to keep an eye on at that 115-pound women's class. I got to see her fight in L.A., Dallas, and this girl she's what I'd like to call a 5-tool prospect.
Sure.
In lieu of my good buddy Byron Browne now in studio. She's a 5-tool prospect, this Weili Zhang is, and I mean, beating Tisha Torres is a hell of a chipping block to knock off.
Yes, especially beating her in a tough fight. I mean, that was a tough fight.
China, too, look at that, billion people. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Potential.
And then you got Pedro Munoz with a big win over Cody Garbrandt. Man, I'll tell you what.
What's Cody doing?
Cody doing?
He's
in a tough spot now. He was already in a tough spot after TJ beat him the second time because there's no getting back from. Then now he's getting knocked further and further down the ladder. Where do you go from here if you're Cody Garbrandt? This is 3 straight losses, 3 knockouts. Do you go up to 145 pounds where they hit harder? I mean, it's tough.
Your chin's already suspect.
And there's no 125 here soon to be anymore. So
you got to fight. You got to have fight IQ at that point, right? Like for me, a fight IQ would have put him in a much better situation, right? Even using wrestling or whatever. If you want to strike, that's fine, but just do it intelligently.
Well, that's what's up to the fighter. How old is he?
He's only 27.
Okay, so he's a millennial, so he knows everything. So he ain't gonna fucking listen. So he's gonna keep doing that. But I tell you one thing about the kid, he's fucking tough. I met him one time, and I felt his energy, and I said, "Hey man, great job for that win." He goes, "I appreciated that."
You talking Garbrandt? You met Garbrandt?
Yeah, I met him in L.A. one time for a Combates Americas fight. I was out there, and I was rapping with him, and he was just cool, and he was the champ, and he was walking around like
I'm all about Cody No Love. I got to see the guy fight in Pittsburgh.
But I don't think he listens. So I think that someone has told him, after the
Overhand
right, you think you want to just shoot in one time, maybe?
They showed the corner on the Thrill and Agony thing.
Yeah.
UFC does that whole Thrill and Agony, like the guy's winning and the guy's losing. They show the corner, and the corner's screaming at him not to do what he's doing. Stop! Cody,
Put
stop!
on the brakes!
Back up! No! Don't exchange hooks! Don't exchange hooks!
I know, but that's the point. He's listening to himself.
Is this kid coachable, though? I mean, is he like...
That he just described it.
Yeah,
that's a good. You got to play with
tough.
plenty of people that had 5 tools that couldn't be
but
coached.
you have to understand, he's also been the champ before.
Oh wow! So he got success at an early age, and the thing is that has he had anybody kind of rock his world and bring him back to reality?
He just got knocked out
what do you
3
mean?
times.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, he just keeps
3 times
going.
in a row.
You know what I'm saying, man? You got something to be said for that. I'm just saying.
agree.
I could like Justin Gaethje.
Right.
So, dude, he's man.
I've told-
that's just what in him. And they said, Justin, why don't you wrestle? And then he goes, I don't know.
So
he was an All-American in college.
Right now, this guy's status right now. What is his name?
Cody Garbrandt.
All right, so Cody now, where's he at now? Is he getting ready to fight again?
He just lost on Saturday night.
Lost on
He
Saturday.
lost. Yeah, this is his 3rd straight loss. He got knocked out for the 3rd straight time. So he's sort of, let me give you the comparison's sake, Byron, being a baseball guy.
Yeah, I'm in the baseball world
so
right
you're
now.
in the baseball. I'll give you this. I'll pay you this. I'll use this comparison for you. Okay. He is that quad A player. He's that quad A player that is too damn good to be playing in Louisville or in the minor leagues, or be playing in Louisville or Tucson. But he's at the point now.
Tucson Toros.
Yeah, he's not. He's at the point now to where he's not quite.
High Corbett Field.
Yep,
and I don't even know if that's a quite comparison. Dallas, we've
My
seen this
dad
guy.
used to take me to High Corbett Field.
Against
my dad was a Marine.
No, he's not playing.
He's playing against the best players in the world.
So would you say he's sort of the guy that's good enough to start, but he's not quite super? He was superstar. He was a one-time All-Star.
You know who he is? He's Daryl Strawberry. He's the guy that was amazing, but couldn't.
But that was cocaine.
But yeah, what I'm saying, he couldn't stay out of his own way.
That's true.
Doing
that
cocaine.
is true.
But he couldn't just any way you do it. It could be women. It could be cocaine. It could be booze. It could be just.
So what is it for Cody? The fact
he
that he
just can't
just
stay
wants
out
to
of his own
fight?
way.
No, he just wants to throw down.
Right, that's it.
He wants to win.
He wants to.
But you know
he
what?
wants to knock somebody out.
So that's exciting. I
agree.
honestly think. But didn't he
like
get a
watching
performance bonus?
I
think he got a performance
he
bonus.
did.
You know what I mean? The UFC is that.
But
dude
those performance bonuses only go so far, though, bro.
No, I understand that, but it's better than
$50,000.
zero.
What's the
Give me $50,000.
Well, yeah, $50,000. But when you start losing fights, those paychecks become far.
Is $50,000 worth talking like Dan Severn or
come on.
Not just to mention Dallas.
Hold
on a second, Tom.
Sorry, Dan.
One second, Tom. Not to mention 50,000. Is it worth talking like that? And also, is it worth losing a fight that you probably could have won? That you should have won. I mean, after so long. I mean, look. He had that win over Cruz. He won the belt. He's lost his last 3. Next fight might not be on paper.
He lost 2 to TJ.
He lost 2 to TJ, and now he's lost to Pedro. And it's not like he's
that's
losing.
really like 2 losses.
It's not like he's losing to bums and scrubs here. But at the same time, look, you lose too many fights, you're out of the UFC. Next fight may not be on
they
paper.
Ain't
He
kicking him out.
He may be back
He'd
to the
have
prelims.
to lose 6 in a row.
Not more.
But he may be on the prelims now. He may not be on the pay-per-view portion of the card. And at the end of the day, if you want to get back to that title, the more fights you lose, the harder it is to climb back that ladder.
I think a guy like Cody who's been known for his in his past for concussion protocols, had concussions, multiple concussions through boxing, all these different things. He's had trouble with that. There's a point in your career where you have to start thinking, okay, I can't get knocked out so many times in a row.
So what is he using for the concussions?
I don't know that. I mean, I would have to get him on the phone to ask him that.
I think he needs to use something.
Can I ask this question, though?
In a natural remedy.
Do you think it's him getting out of his own way, or do you think the fact that this guy took Dominic Cruz to school and got a little bit full of his? Because let's be honest,
it could be either. It could be a bit of either. I think you could be a bit of both.
Because let's be honest here. I mean, let's be honest. That first TJ fight, it's not like he went in there and completely shit the bed. He was knocking TJ on his ass.
He was beating
both of them twice. He was doing well against Munoz. He
was winning that fight. He almost had him knocked out.
2 of those 3 fights he could have won easily.
Yeah, I have a video of my son throwing overhand rights. He has this beanbag, and that's how he trains. And his left hand is up, and I post on social media. Maybe you should try doing this on the overhand right.
Let me make this comparison to you, Byron.
He throws
Cody Garbrandt.
He throws little short hooks.
Let me make this comparison to Cody Garbrandt real quick. Cody Garbrandt is that all-star that he's that pitcher that throws 100 miles an hour. He's got a great curve, but at the end of the day, he starts running out of gas in the 3rd or 4th inning.
That's not good.
Yeah.
The guy has a great fastball. I mean, I used a single A comparison to the minor. He's much better than that. He's the guy that has that great fastball, or the hitter that can, he can hit 50, 60 homers, but he can't hit a curveball to save his damn life.
You remember a guy named Billy Ashley?
Yeah, I remember that name.
30, 40 home runs, AAA, and he goes up to the big leagues, hits 2.
Yeah, he couldn't hit the curve.
So the thing on this guy, like, if he's
how is he with the slider?
That's the thing. He might have had a slider speed bat. That's how you could throw him. He'll hit the ball out of ballpark. You throw a fastball right by him too. See, that's the thing. Right. But with this Cody guy, I'm thinking that
I had that problem too when I fought. The guy hit me with the jab, and then he hit me with the right and a hook and an uppercut.
With this Cody guy,
he's hitting me with everything. The fuck am I doing
Andy
in
Perez?
here? Yeah. What am I doing in here?
Back, is he humbled now? Is he when he's coming back? I mean, what is his training? What is he going to do that's going to get him back to where he was as a champion, and not make the same mistakes? Because of the fact that being an athlete, you can't make the same mistake twice. I'm not going to if I throw one pitch, and I throw another one, the guy fouls it straight back. The third one, I'm going to need an asbestos suit because he's going to hit that ball right back at me.
Right.
So the key is that when he's fighting again against whoever he's fighting against, what does he need to do to, I guess, obtain that championship title back?
Well, one easy advice is like when he throws his right, keep his left here.
He's sticking his chin out there.
No,
Right.
no, no.
Well,
With
he
his
just goes-
hands down, he throws like this, and they were both throwing like this. Only that guy connected
Yeah,
harder
he-
than
yeah.
him, and because he went and he swung,
'Cause-
he went all the way through it, and then went. whoop.
Yeah, so basically he's...
It's
he-
technique.
Right.
It's grade
especially
level
with
technique. I
he
his-
needs
mean,
to go back to the basics.
I'm no boxing expert, but like
his
use your
body-
other arm, hands up.
He's got short arms too. His reach isn't very
so
long.
that guy's longer than him.
So you're
it's
looking
more
at
of a
people
sling.
that have more of a longer reach than you. You're fighting.
Mm.
Everybody who you're fighting has longer reach than you almost, and you're
So
throwing
he should
hooks.
he should be
and then
dirty-
you're throwing hooks.
Yeah, he should
So
be
now
dirty
you're-
boxing.
So now your reach is even smaller because
sir.
you're throwing hard hooks against guys who are throwing everything else at you. You know, and so
You should actually do regular boxing because in boxes and moves, he's good. It's just when he stays right there and just swings like crazy. Then
yeah, when he stays right in the pocket.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good when he moves.
You know, a double leg sometimes in between that's good.
He was good when he
Right.
beat what's his face for the title. He looked amazing. His wrestling and boxing, taking him down on his feet.
Or
but then-
these with Dominic
Dominic
Cruz.
Cruz.
Dominic Cruz,
yeah.
exactly. He was a two-time Ohio
Look,
State
and
champion.
I
Yeah.
think
He was
another
like
thing
a
that
high school
helped
All-American.
him against when he fought Dominic Cruz is
Ohio.
he never really had to worry too much about getting knocked out.
No.
Because Dominic Cruz is not really a knockout kind of guy. You know what I mean? Dominic
Mhm.
Cruz is a guy who's gonna beat you over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you give me enough time, I'm gonna beat you up. I might knock you out.
Dominic's knocked some guys
I
out.
might knock you out, right? But it's gonna be in the 4th or 5th round.
He had elbow surgery? What happened to his
Dominic,
elbow?
yeah.
Dominic's had all sorts
Yeah.
of. But I think the biggest thing that Cody needs to do is look at the man in house. He's training with his head coach is a Hall of Famer who's fought for the world title so many times.
Couldn't
Has
get
won
it done
titles.
in the UFC though.
Not in the UFC, but the guy has fought for the UFC. You know, he's fought for the title multiple times. He's a Hall of Famer. Listen to him and learn rely back on what got you to the dance to begin with. You didn't get there on accident. You can get there again.
Here's the thing about Cody too, but I'm getting from you guys. So he's a striker, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he's a Gold Gloves boxer.
How is his on the mat skills like?
Real good.
Submissions.
He's,
His
I don't know
wrestling's
about no
solid.
submissions, but he
His
can take
wrestling's
them
good.
down.
So
He
might
can
have
take
to
someone
start-
down.
He might have to change.
You have to reincorporate the
Yeah,
wrestling.
and get into that as
He's got to switch up.
getting
So it's
older.
like shoot boxing, you know what I mean?
No, he's only 27.
He's 27.
So
He's
27,
young.
I mean,
That's young for MMA.
Is that,
Yeah.
Is that okay?
See
So
that, but that's
basically
what
it's
worries
like a
me. You
25-year-old
just took 3
kicker.
straight
It's-
knockouts.
The
at
thing is, he
27.
just became a champ really young,
Mhm.
and I think he may have got ahead of himself. So once you're the champ, it's hard to like relearn to realize, you know what, you got some flaws, and everyone's
He's got that
infallible.
hunger, though.
So he has to choose to listen. I know his corner is telling him the right things. He's not listening to his corner.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I know his corner is saying like, you might want to keep the other hand up.
You got a
All right,
taste
we got to wrap this up real quick, guys. We got to go to our next break. But just a reminder: be sure to visit our friends at Pure Canna Organics, No High Solution. Go to our website and click our link or photos to get the full details. When we come back, we've got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson hopefully coming on here. We've got a lot more to discuss here on MMA Fight
Shannon
Radio.
Ritch.
We've got Shannon Ritch coming on a little bit later in the show. And we've got more with the great Byron Browne, former Milwaukee Brewers pitcher. Actually struck out Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter. Pretty impressive stuff, so we'll be talking a lot about him.
right there.
The lovely Miss Harley Quinn, who also with us in studio. We'll be back here on MMA Fight Radio.
Today, Rob is the man. He's headed to work for a promotion. Rob doesn't realize the importance of a reliable warranty. Any make, model, or mileage. $500 to $1,000 less than the dealers. Don't let an unexpected repair ruin your day. Today, Rob is not the man, but tomorrow he can be. Call 1-866-352-4999 for a free quote or go to nationwidewarranties.com.
we have ourselves a fight. Saturday, April 27th, live from SAP Center in San Jose. The opening round of Bellator's welterweight Grand Prix continues when the champ Rory McDonald with that elbow strike takes on dangerous challenger John Finch. Plus, undefeated flyweight champion Alima Lay McFarland looks for her third title defense against Vida Ortega.
I am the best in the world. Nobody's going to take this belt from me.
Bellator MMA, live April 27th from SAP Center in San Jose. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, I'm Di with the Di for Gourmet Caramel Corn, and we're based out of Avondale. We have been with Barterworks now about 5 years or so. Had some great bargains that we get by bartering. For instance, our shirts, my hats, bartered. Been on vacation because you know you can only work so much and you got to get out of here. So I can't say enough about the company or Lori, who is the owner. She has always gone above and beyond, and the times that maybe she didn't have something available, found it. So if you're on the fence about barter, don't be. Give Lori and Barterworks a shot. You won't be disappointed.
Are you paying unexpected costly repair bills on your car? Need an extended auto warranty? Look no further than Nationwide Auto Warranties. Any make, model, or mileage vehicles, they've got you covered. Protect yourself now or pay for costly repairs later. We obtain factory-like coverage for your used vehicle. Extend your original factory warranty. Most vehicles, makes, and models qualify. Nationwide Auto Warranties average $500 to $1,000 less than dealers. Visit nationwideautowarranties.com or call 623-935-7988 for a free no-obligation quote.
MMA Fight Night Radio is coming to you live from Studio 1A at True Story Studios in Tempe. And now, more from the boys. It's Jay and Dallas.
We are back here at MMA Fight Radio, live in beautiful Tempe, Arizona, True Story Studios. We thank you so very much for joining us.
True story.
It's always a true story here at True Stories. Thanks to our boy Michael for keeping us sound and loud and proud and all that other fun stuff. I am your host, of course, as always, the Big J Boski, Jay Pagliaro, Sean Dallas Hall, SDH. Hey, we got Mr. Thom Ortiz. We got Carlos Ortiz, the Jersey Shore's finest. And I didn't give him a proper introduction last segment because we were in the middle of such a good conversation about, the Cody Garbrandt fight. Let me give him the proper one here, ladies and gentlemen. Good friend of mine. This gentleman spent 11 years in professional baseball. I believe he spent 3 in the major leagues with the Milwaukee Brewers. He struck out Michael Jordan. He struck out Derek Jeter. I mean, this guy's had more strikeouts than Mariah.
Dunked on Michael Jordan, too.
Dunked on Michael Jordan.
We could, come on.
This guy's had more strikeouts in the big league than Mariah Carey and the Kardashian sisters. He's also been on Young and the Restless. He's been in movies. He was in the original major leagues. I think I left a few things out there, Byron, but if I didn't sell them, if you need a hatchet man, I'm for hire. Byron Browne, my good friend. Byron, how you doing, brother?
Hello, guys. Good to hear from you.
And Byron was actually joining us last segment talking about MMA. Now, Byron, he's getting to learn the sport a little bit, so we're going to teach him the basics, and, we'll teach him the fun and the stuff. But he certainly contributed very well last segment. With,
yeah, he has a great understanding of sport. Baseball's a sport. My son's in baseball now, and then it teaches him how to use your hips.
Yeah,
so
your core.
The hip motion and use your core. And
Legs
core is
and core.
everything for any sport.
Hand-eye coordination.
Yeah,
that's
hand coordination.
too. Hand-eye
That's why.
coordination.
That's my son's
timing.
excuse for Fortnite. But
Yeah, exactly. Fortnite. Yeah, that, hand-eye coordination comes from playing video games too. I played a lot of it. But if you got a good core strength and got good legs, that's half
I always
the
like
battle.
nice legs.
That is half the battle right there. You got to bleed out of your eyes doing sit-ups and squats, and lunges and stuff like that. I don't miss
especially with the position you were playing. You were pitching. I mean, everything comes from there.
Yeah, I used to do lunges and, from one foul pole to the other foul pole. And that was without any kind of weight at all. And then I started using medicine balls and weights and doing it over and over and over again until, that's even before picking up a baseball.
Right.
And then you do your ab work, do the same thing, and then you start playing long toss. And before you know it, you can do some things on the mound. You can actually get through 5, 6, 7 innings before you bust a sweat, which is a really good thing. But
did you enjoy the granola?
Oh man, I'm loving your granola.
Yeah, we got to get Miss Harley Quinn's got to have some of this granola, man.
Yeah,
turn it around.
This is Harley Quinn. This
Carla,
is
turn it around.
my girlfriend, and basically we both were in a movie together called Rotten Tales, coming out April 12th this year. Comic-Con. Brian Skiba was the director. Kornemic.
I didn't know we were
Kornemic
hanging
was
with movie stars today.
yeah,
It
I
always
know,
gets
right?
better, man.
You're a movie star
Dominique
too.
Swain, was the star, and William McNamara was the bad guy, Pastor Jake. I played a character named Larry, and my character is to protect Pastor Jake from Peter Cotton. Peter Cotton was a guy that had his best friend, which is his rabbit, killed as a child, and he's going to get revenge against us. And it is my job to hunt the rabbit. It's wabbit season as a wabbit eater.
And he was also in Young and the Restless Lady, so any of the women that are
Hey,
watching,
now.
my wife actually recognized him from Young and the Restless.
Yeah, I was
on
there
the
for a little
infamous
bit.
the wedding scene. When it was Laura and Laura's wedding. And,
Yeah, I got killed off of it.
You got killed quick?
Yeah, they the funny thing is that I had my Damon Porter. I was actually playing and standing in and body doubling for and all that stuff, and they killed us both off at the same day, and we had an outer body experience, inner body experience, and John Kerry's what did they call it when he lost the presidency?
Oh yeah, the
Interrupted my death scene in the last 10 minutes of the show.
Wait, so you got interrupted by John Kerry? Oh my God, it's bad enough to get interrupted by John Kerry. Ah.
I had everyone, people in the West Coast saw, but when it came down to showing it here, I had everybody watching. Everyone pretty much went kind of like, oh, that's the story of my life right there. That's like me getting called up 2 days before the strike or the lockout. And going to Detroit. And
Hey now, stay away from my Tigers. That's
well,
my
that was
squad.
my first big. That was my big league debut. That was when I got called up. I got called up August 11th in 1994. Flew to Detroit against Detroit Tigers. Freaking the place, the original field, Ty Cobb.
Right, Tiger Stadium.
I call
baby.
my dad. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna pitch against Lou Whitaker, Alan Trammell, these guys, and the owners locked us out. And then, of course, they flew after they were basically said there's no World Series. There's not going to be any kind of sports. The Expos got labeled as the champions. I think Matt Williams was the home run king. I think Tony Gwynn was even hitting almost.
He was hitting
395. He was hitting 400.
Yeah.
And all that amazing season came to an end because the bargaining agreement, and I happened to be a part of it. And the thing is, with us youngsters, I got sent to the Fall League, where a basketball player named Michael Jordan was playing.
The Birmingham Barons.
Yeah, well, he was in the Fall League with a bunch of angry future Hall of Famers like Jeter, Nomar Garciaparra.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Clark was in it.
Tony
I mean,
Clark.
there was a bunch of guys that I can name that the 1994 Fall League was a premier. It was one of the better seasons. You know, the year before they had Klesko and those guys, but this year was the year of Jeter, and Jeter was on my team, and he actually got a little bit of a sore shoulder. He sent him back, but you know that season was the only form of baseball that was being played at that time.
You were with the Scottsdale Scorpions, right?
No, Jordan was. I was on the Chandler
Diamondbacks. Jordan was the
Diamondbacks.
Scorpions. That's
I was
right.
on the Chandler Diamondbacks before the Diamondbacks were even the Diamondbacks. And I think our uniforms were black and orange, and we had black and orange Diamondback logo. That was back in the day when there was probably a good 15 teams, I think. Now I think they only have 6. But they even had a league in Hawaii. That got canceled.
You had Hawaii Islanders.
Yeah, that got canceled because of the strike that year as well too. So it was pretty interesting because I know when Jordan, we were kind of upset because Jordan, I thought, took somebody's job. He took a player that could have actually needed to be in the Fall League, and you know, I threw at Jordan. Everyone threw at Jordan. And you know, he held his own. I saw him hit a home run off one of our pitchers. The pitcher was probably put on suicide watch that night because he gave up a home run to Jordan. But it was fun. You know, I got to see Jordan play. But I never.
So wait a minute. I didn't know about any of this stuff. This animosity towards him.
No, I don't have animosity.
Not animosity, but at that time. That's, if you're throwing at him, that's animosity.
Yeah, well,
last I heard.
Well, the thing is about Jordan is
changed.
that I think
you're throwing the ball.
Right,
You're throwing a
Tom,
heater.
let me ask you,
that shit hurts.
Make a comparison.
You ever been hit with a fucking
Many
rock?
times.
Make a comparison to
people
you.
Throw rocks.
How did the UFC fighters feel when CM Punk came in?
They're like, what the fuck?
That's how they felt when Michael Jordan came into baseball.
Yeah, but Mike,
that's
yeah,
not
I
so
guess
much
your point
animosity
is
towards
that-
the man, but you know.
we felt that he should have did his time going to rookie ball, A ball, double A, but he went straight to double A.
He went straight.
And then of course he kind of, you know, I think they still have that bus. He bought the bus. You know, he was not having no minor league nothing.
Right.
So the Birmingham Barons were actually at that time went from, how would I say, God, I'm looking for the word of, they went high class real quick, staying in good hotels, eating good, and I'm sure Jordan probably foot the bill, which is great. You always get a guy like that who's taking care of, you know, fellow teammates.
Yeah,
and
why
stuff
not?
Like that. But the thing is that when we paid our dues, and I honestly believe that Jordan could have played in the major leagues if he would have stuck to it and he would have did what everybody else did. But the strike also affected Michael Jordan as well. And
Yeah, but why does he have to struggle to make it?
It's
minor
Michael
leagues is a
Jordan.
grind, man.
No, but I'm just saying that I know, but that's
Michael Jordan.
But I'm
What about
just
Deion
saying,
Sanders? Deion Sanders didn't
Well,
struggle.
Deion Sanders did minor leagues, though. Deion put in his time.
Yeah, so did Bo Jackson.
And Bo Jackson did, too.
Well, Bo Jackson was probably the best athlete ever. In
Oh,
time,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Deion, I
time.
still put Deion up there too.
But it's just like
Well, Deion more than Bo Jackson.
it's like
Pretty
Tebow
close.
right now.
No,
Right,
Bo
right.
Jackson.
Tebow's paying his
Tebow's
dues.
paying his dues right now, and Tebow's actually turning out to be a fine ball player.
Right.
But he has to pay his dues in minor leagues. You got to go down and hit that grind. Got to play in those bad lights. You got to get on those bus trips. I mean, it is a grind of every. You don't
I
have
don't
a
want
day
to do
off.
all that.
No, there's no
Every
days
day.
off.
No, them bus trips could be
Oh,
10, 11,
man.
12. Back in
That's
the day.
That's
you
when
know,
I
it was-
retired. I got picked up by the Dodgers after my Tommy John surgery.
You got
And-
picked up by the Dodgers. Enough said. I don't want to play for that
my
shit organization
gosh,
either.
24 months it took for me to come off my Tommy John surgery. And went to Vero Beach, and my job was to make a team. And I did make a team, but it was A-ball, and I retired as a Dodger in Florida.
So here's a question I got for you, Byron. What did you strike Jordan out with, bro? Because that's like, I mean, that's a question a lot of people listening to this want to know. This guy struck out Michael Jordan.
Well,
What did
Jordan came up, and we were playing in Chandler, and I remember it was like yesterday. He comes up, the crowd goes nuts. I'm like, this is my house. This guy's coming up to the plate. I know it's Michael Jordan, but you know what? I'm a competitor, all right? And the first pitch, 97 under chin. I had to announce my presence of authority, and I did. And the next pitch, threw it right by him. So I said, I got a few pitches to waste. I got something to do. I threw a slider. I didn't want to waste no time. I wanted 3 pitching. Threw a slider, and he fouled it off. I went, wow. He literally fouled off a pitch that I'm thinking myself, I'm a major league
What's the
player.
definition of a slider? Is it opposite
Slider,
of curve?
Curveball 6 to 12 rotation. So if you think of a clock,
Uh-huh.
when it comes in, a curveball is supposed to be 6 to 12.
12 to 6.
Or 12 to 6, yes. Yeah. And basically, it has overhead. It looks like a fastball. A little bit. Same arm action, everything, but it drops. Yeah. Curveball. Slider, on the other hand, is more of a 2 to 8 rotation. It's a wrist thing. It's a fastball, and you kind of cut it at the last minute, and it goes in like a fastball, and it has about a break about like that much. And Randy Johnson had one of the nastiest.
Nasty.
Yeah. And
he threw it from like half side, though.
Oh, God. Mariano Rivera had a cutter, which was what we call a backup slider. His cutter was basically a hard slider.
Wasn't it off like kind of like a two-seam? He threw
Yeah,
it the same way
slider's
as
the
two
same way.
seams.
It's just a little bit more, you know. But the thing is, you don't want to hang none of them. Because you hang them, they hit the ball 9 miles.
Right.
And like I said, I don't know if I hung it to Jordan or not, but he fouled it off. I got mad. So I threw another pitch, got him off the plate. And I had to bust out the old equalizer on him, and I threw a changeup. And he swung 4 times before the ball probably hit the mitt, and it struck him out. And I told him, I said, it's my house. And Jordan basically walked back, did his thing. But I want to say probably about maybe a week or so later, we had a little bit of downtime, and they were all playing basketball, pickup game at ASU. We weren't supposed to be doing it, but this is the only time I've ever got to see Michael Jordan kind of sort of play basketball. And then, you know, I was under contract. I wasn't getting out there. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to play against one of the best basketball players ever. But, oh, man, what I saw that day, what he did, all right, so we were playing pickup game at 21. I was sitting over there watching. You know, Jordan comes up behind you, grabs you by the neck, and he's like, hey, you know, come out there, come out there. No. All the other players, Garcia Parra, Scottsdale Scorpions, there's so many guys in the gym, and we were watching. There's probably a good 4 or 5 guys that were out there playing. I know Michael Tucker was one of them. And Michael Tucker, this is his athletes, baseball players were. Michael Tucker actually made a move and dunked it, and Jordan happened to be accidentally underneath the rim, and Tucker teabagged him.
Oh, not a good move.
And Jordan got mad, dude. Yeah, he kind of like did his nuts on the back of his head, and I saw a look come on his eye, like he made everybody get off the court except for Tucker. And Tucker had the ball, and I saw Michael Jordan check up the ball. I saw him in one motion take the ball from Tucker with one hand, right? They switched sides because now he has the ball, right? And Jordan was like looking, not saying a word. Tucker's like in defensive position. Jordan bounced the ball off Tucker's face, dunks it, comes back, and is like, don't ever fucking do that again on my court. Don't disrespect me on my court. And it really got a little heated. It really did. And, you know, there was nobody fought. Nobody did anything like that at all. But it got to the point to where you got a bunch of athletes who are Michael Tucker.
They all want to test.
Oh, man.
They all want to throw down once in a while.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Jordan was
so,
one
I mean,
of the...
it's like if I came into your world and was like, hey, you know, you're going to put me in the hole. You're going to put me in this. I'm going to make you feel what it's like, and you're going to have a respect
But just
for
a little squeeze.
Yeah, see? I don't
Just a
little
little
squeeze.
cardiac action where the blood stops.
You know.
And you know what?
And you're
Blood
like
chokes, not air
you know,
chokes.
like,
We're just
why
doing
am
blood.
I seeing stars?
I
Oh.
respect that. I respect that. And this is in
Just some
Harley
shit
here.
like
This one right here is all about that. She wants to get into WWE.
Punch you in the nuts.
Yeah.
And
Best
she,
defense.
we did the whole weekend thing.
Same.
And she's signed on to where she's going to start getting herself in shape, and you might see herself, you know, wrestling against her favorite.
So what is
person.
what are you learning? What like Muay Thai or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, Mexican judo? What are you learning?
Definitely not.
You don't know if I got a knife.
You
You don't know if
my
I got a
cousins
gun.
Might be outside to get you. My cousins are here. You don't know. It's Mexican judo.
Probably just wrestling for right now.
Oh, good.
It's still like really, really low key, just kind of like
Mhm.
the idea
In its
and the
infancy.
infancy.
I
Exactly.
will.
She does have a
Man,
move.
big words here.
She actually
Yeah.
she's already perfected her. She's perfected her own
Finish.
submissive hold, and I'm a big guy.
She
and
triangle you and you wouldn't
dude,
tap?
I couldn't get out. She freaking locked me up.
triangle?
Told you.
I don't know what she did.
She
but
liked the
had a leg
triangle.
lock.
Next segment, she's got to shoot. I'll be the guinea pig. I'll be the
Yeah,
guinea
you
pig.
put it on him.
That's the only way it can
I'll
happen,
swear
right?
to God, I couldn't
Rear
get out
naked
of it.
choke.
Rear naked
triangle.
choke.
And she
Yeah.
literally, she
Gonna
made
get
me
it
tap out a
patent
few
pending.
times.
Well, we do got to go to a break quick, but I do want to let you know, just from my own, if you look at a lot of these people, Natalia does it, it wouldn't, and I mean this doing some basic rudimentary training in MMA will help you so much in your wrestling pursuit, because a lot of
Absolutely.
these women in the WWE now, and I'm not just talking Ronda or Marina or the usual suspect.
No, yeah.
But a lot of them do the MMA training because it helps them with conditioning. It helps them with taking the bumps. That way, when you hit that mat for the first time, it's not excruciating. And it really helps because wrestling's turning into more of a shoot environment like it used to be. So just a little bit of a pointer to you. And I know a man that might be able to help you out with that.
Oh,
Hey,
there's
there
quite
you
a few places.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, hey, we'll be back after this break here on MMA Fight Radio.
Today, Rob is the man. He's headed to work for a promotion. Rob doesn't realize the importance of a reliable warranty. Any make, model, or mileage. $500 to $1,000 less than the dealers. Don't let an unexpected repair ruin your day. Today, Rob is not the man, but tomorrow he can be. Call 1-866-352-4999 for a free quote or go to nationwidewarranties.com.
We have ourselves a fight! Saturday, April 27th, live from SAP Center in San Jose. The opening round of Bellator's welterweight Grand Prix continues when the champ Rory McDonald
Yeah, I was supposed to go ahead with him.
takes on dangerous challenger John Finch. Plus, undefeated flyweight champion Alima Lay McFarland looks for her third title defense against Vita Ortega.
I am the best in the world. Nobody's going to take this belt from me.
Bellator MMA, live April 27th from SAP Center in San Jose. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, I'm Di with the Di for Gourmet Caramel Corn, and we're based out of Avondale. We have been with Barterworks now for about 5 years or so. Had some great bargains that we get by bartering. For instance, our shirts, my hat, bartered. Been on vacation because you know you can only work so much and you got to get out of here. So I can't say enough about the company or Lori, who is the owner. He has always gone above and beyond, and the times that maybe she didn't have something available, found it. So if you're on the fence about barter, don't be. Give Lori and Barterworks a shot. You won't be disappointed.
Are you paying unexpected costly repair bills on your car? Need an extended auto warranty? Look no further than Nationwide Auto Warranties. Any make, model, or mileage vehicles, they've got you covered. Protect yourself now or pay for costly repairs later. We obtain factory-like coverage for your used vehicle. Extend your original factory warranty. Most vehicles, makes, and models qualify. Nationwide Auto Warranties.
MMA Fight Night Radio is coming to you live from Studio 1A at True Story Studios in Tempe. And now, more from the boys. It's Jay and Dallas.
We are back here on MMA Fight Radio, NBC Sports Radio. Oh, scratch that. Force to habit.
Ooh.
You know how many times I've done that exact same thing
It's
on my
on
podcast?
now.
True Story Studios, ladies and gentlemen. See, Dallas, how many years? For 6 years, I said the same line over and over again.
Listen, I forgive you in here because even though I'm the owner of True Story Studios, like I do it too constantly on my podcast. I'm like, you're listening to the Indie Report on Independent Talk. And I'm like, oh shit.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
not on there
you.
anymore.
You get it. You
That's
get
a,
it.
you know what? That's a
years.
true story.
That is a true story.
True
That's
story.
Years and years
we are,
of
we are
mindfuck.
bigger,
Studios.
better than we are bigger and better than ever here at True Story Studios, formerly on NBC Sports Radio. There you go, covered neck. But we're back here on MMA Fight Radio. Thanks for joining us, Jay Pagliaro, Dallas Hall, Tom Ortiz, Carlos Ortiz,
El viejo.
the man Byron Browne, and Harley Quinn in studio. And joining us at this time is a man who's got a big fight coming up here against Travis Fulton, Bare Knuckles Boxing, I believe it is. Or it's no, M1 Global USA.
He just won to do the Bare Knuckles.
He just won the Bare Knuckles. Now he's fighting for M1, taking on Travis Fulton. These two guys between them, Dallas, have over 400 professional fights. Craziness.
At least,
and that's cutting it short. He is Shannon the Cannon Ritch. He joins us here on the show. Shannon, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, guys. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us and for coming on the show. Now, first questions first, man. As I mentioned, you and Travis, between the two of you got to have at least 400 fights. We're probably pushing closer to 5. This is the first time you two have ever met, though, ain't it? I mean, you fought everybody and anybody.
You got to remember, I've never fought Travis Fulton due to the fact I was never in his weight class. He was always a bigger guy. So I'm old and fat now, so I don't have to cut weight.
How much do you weigh?
I'm pushing about 230.
Why don't you lose 10 pounds?
It's Thom Ortiz.
Thom
talking,
Ortiz.
by the way.
It's El Viejo. It's Thom, dude. What's up? Shannon, what's up? Shannon, you still there? Shannon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you lose 10 pounds?
Thom.
Hi. I know. I've been training, man. So I lost a little bit of weight.
Well, that's good. Then you're ready, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. This is gonna be a great fight.
Are you gonna knock him out?
Everyone enjoys it and watches it. What's that?
Are you gonna knock him out?
Man, that's the plan. Stand and bang. He's a pro boxer as well. He's had 75 pro boxing matches. I'm 26-3 bare knuckle boxing.
Do you need anyone to go with you that says duck? I'll do that. Duck. I'm just saying. I see that guy start swinging. You know what? Go for the liver. Liver punch.
Liver is a good target.
Liver punch. Liver overhand right. I see that working for you.
Anyone that knows me knows my game plan is to get you on the ground and probably get you in a submission, leg lock, ankle lock, heel
Oh, wait a minute. This is an MMA fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
MMA
thought they were
fight.
going to bare knuckle each other.
No, he just
No,
won.
M1 Global, man. This is
Oh,
this is
wait a
MMA
minute.
fight.
That's awesome.
Come
Okay.
on. Follow the game plan here, Thom.
I get mixed up. Mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
So Shannon, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the success you've been having in bare knuckle boxing. Now bare knuckles is a big thing here in the States, right? When you were doing it, you had to go out of the country, right?
Yeah, I was doing it out of the country. I was doing it in Mexico a lot, and I was doing it here in the United States illegally. Couldn't really tell anybody about it because it was illegal. We'd go to jail. And I've been doing it in the UK, in London.
Hey, now.
That was my favorite, too.
You still there? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm still here, of course. Man.
Yeah, I believe that was your first guest that was supposed to call an hour ago.
But
go
in
ahead.
bare knuckle, I've had some really good success. In 2017, I got inducted to the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm 26-3 with 26 wins by knockout. Just won in Cancun, Mexico for BKFC, waiting for my next opponent. And so in the time that I'm waiting for my next opponent, M1 Global called and asked me what I would like to fight. A super fight versus Travis Fulton. The winner gets to go to St. Petersburg, Russia, and fight for a title over there. So we're in camp training hard, 27 days out, and I'm ready. I'm looking forward to this fight.
Shannon, this is El Viejo. I just wanted to wish you the best of luck. All right?
Thank you.
Hey, Shannon, this is Carlos Ortiz. What's up? I was wondering, is there any other local fighters that are going to be on this card?
What's that?
Is there going to be any other local Arizona guys on the card?
Oh man, there's a ton, guys. M1 Global came and they really did a big push to get some local guys. We got Ronnie Dizon. He's on the card. He's a beginner amateur, but man, he's a fun kid to watch.
He's got a lot of skills.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's got a lot of skills especially for just having 3 or 4 pro fights.
Yeah, and then we got like 6 guys from Yuma. It's a local show. I mean, it's going to be in Yuma at the Quechan Casino. It's actually on the California side, but it's a Yuma show. Everyone from Yuma is going to be there. Bunch of local kids from Yuma are on the card, and then obviously we got Paige Van Zandt coming to do the commentating. She's a special guest with Sean Wheelock. And then we've got.
I'm coming now.
And then we've got
What's the date? What's the date?
April 4th. April 4th. It's a
Don't
Thursday.
say April 1st.
On UFC Fight
That's
Pass.
not funny. Hey, I'm gonna try and go down there then. I like Yuma. There are a lot of tough kids from Yuma.
Yeah.
No,
If
them.
you
You know
come
what?
down-
I think Yuma per capita has the most UFC fighters ever, from that area.
Serious.
Kane. All
Yeah, they got Gastelum, Cain Velasquez. I mean, that's where they all started. But guys, if you come down, let me know, man. I'll get you tickets.
Really? Can I have front row?
Absolutely.
Hey, Byron, you want to go see some fights in Yuma?
Yeah,
Don't
hook you
listen.
up.
They're pandering. They're pandering here.
Yeah, I would love to.
Shannon.
I got some time off.
Hey, it's okay because you know what?
I am
I
so
want to
down.
get the support. You know what I mean? 'Cause
I
if I
agree.
go in and kick the shit out of Travis Fulton, people are going to talk about it. And so
You know what,
I'd
Shannon?
love
Hit him
to do
with
it
the
from you
hit him
guys.
with the double leg, dog. Double leg.
All day.
Double leg.
That's definitely in the repertoire.
So I wanted to finish what we were talking about the bare knuckle. I mean, the bare knuckle now is a big thing. I mean, they're signing.
It is.
They're signing
Yeah.
ex boxers. They're signing
Yep.
old UFC fighters. You're with BKFC, correct?
Yeah, I signed with them. Yeah.
So are you? I mean, you hold a title, right, for them
yeah,
now?
Yeah, I got an international belt right now. Yes. I was
So
the first one to get that.
Who are you looking to get in there with bare knuckle wise? I'm interested.
Well, there's in the talks right now. We're looking at fighting Bobby Gunn, and Bobby Gunn is the diamond belt holder from the John L. Sullivan had the title of heavyweight bare knuckle boxer, and he's the world champion current right now. So we've been trying to fight for over 2 years. Finally,
Hey, Shannon.
promoter Dave Feldman is going to make it happen.
Shannon, we
Yeah.
should promote a bare knuckle show here locally. You want to do that? We should do that, huh? We should have a bare
do
knuckle
that,
show.
but the only thing is you got to get sanctioned, man.
Why not? Why
It's
can't
very
you?
hard to get sanctioned here.
You can't
Oh,
get sanctioned.
what's
here.
the only
You tried
state?
To, you tried to do it a few years back, didn't you, Shannon?
What's the only state that does it?
Yeah, he tried to do it.
What's the only state?
You guys are in Montana.
Arizona does it. I
Hey,
mean,
Shannon.
Arizona's having it, but it's at a reservation, right?
This is Byron Browne here. Have you heard of a ball player named Stacy or Jesse Hollins? He used to pitch for the Yankees. He used to bare knuckle fight in Texas, I think, back in the day. And,
You know, I have not ran across him. Not
Well, he's
saying
a
that
little
I
bit-
don't know him, but I don't remember his name.
A little
so.
bit older. This was like in the 90s and stuff. There was a lot of stories.
So you
about
cannot do bare knuckle boxing?
No.
The state
there's only
commission
3
won't
places
allow
in,
you.
in
Yeah.
the United States right now where you can do bare knuckle boxing, and Arizona is not one of them.
Right.
What states can you?
You can do it in Biloxi, Mississippi. You can do it in Wyoming, and you can do it in New Mexico.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
New Mexico?
New Mexico, yeah. And you guys are mostly in Wyoming, right? They're doing a lot of your stuff in Wyoming.
Well, Wyoming and Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, so as far as the M1 fight goes, it's an awesome matchup. By the way, I think that really works. I think that works in your favor in a lot of ways.
Crazy super fight, man. The
yeah.
guy's got over 300 fights. He's number 1 in the world with the most fights on record. I'm number 2, and number 3 is actually Dan Severn. I fought him twice, and now I get to fight the guy that has the most fights on record.
I mean, that's actually insane to think about.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
That's
pretty cool.
insane to
Not
think
bad.
about.
Not bad. I'm not like Thom fighting at 50, but man, I'm 48, almost 49, so it's cool.
You're younger than me, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll be 49
You know
in
what?
September.
You know what? Hey, do you know where Shannon wrestled at? Guess. You guys know? Anyone know?
ASU.
Nope.
Grand
What
Canyon.
high school?
Oh, what high school?
GCU Lope?
Tucson.
Coolidge.
Coolidge.
the
Coolidge
band.
I should have
High
known that
was
because
the coolest.
I should have known that because Vince Lucero calls Shannon Coolidge's greatest export. So I should have known Coolidge High.
Yeah, Coolidge High. Come on now, isn't that true, Shannon?
That's true. That's a true story. Yeah.
All right, so Shannon, this fight taking place in Yuma. Obviously Arizona's doesn't sanction it yet, but what do you think this will do to show the Grand Canyon State? Look, this is a perfectly respectable entity. What do you think that being this is MMA, but being you're such a patriarch of the bare knuckle scene, what do you think that they need to do to show these people? Look, we can hold this here. It's no different than boxing or MMA or anything else. What do you think needs done?
We're actually in talks. We're talking to a couple people, and to me, honestly, it's political, man. It's all politics. If you get the right guy behind you, things are going to happen. So
Well, I know some people.
It's just really politics.
Gotcha.
Dallas.
So M1 wise, that's
Don't call
well
me.
seasoned. You said you get the chance to fight in the old Soviet Union. If you
Yeah,
will.
Soviet
I've been
Union,
fighting-
where'd you? 1989, dog.
I'm
30 years
I'm
ago.
I'm a kid of the 80s.
The
I'm a
old-
kid of the
The
80s.
old Soviet Union. I think it's called
Guys,
Russia
I've been
now.
fighting in Russia. I've been fighting in Russia for quite a few years. Last year alone, I was there 5 times. I know a lot of people there, and they offered me the opportunity to fight in M1 Global. We get the win, and then we get to go back to St. Petersburg. Man, this is a dream come true, and they're actually scouting fighters. So a couple of the people that win are going to get a contract for M1 Global and get to go fight in Russia. So and they pay really good money over there.
For
So,
sure.
It's a good opportunity.
Do they play in rubles or what?
Are you fighting outside the Berlin Wall?
They knocked it down, didn't they?
Shannon, the reason I brought that up, the reason I brought that up, Shannon, is they're giving me shit in the studios because I mentioned the old Soviet Union. There's a reason I did that.
Because Stalin.
It's the reason. There's a reason I said the old Soviet Union. I'm going pro wrestling.
The Red Army.
But you fought there quite a few times before in the past, haven't you, in Russia?
I am. I was the first American to go there and win an 8-man bare knuckle tournament back in 2001. So that was, been doing this quite a while.
You kind of look like a Cossack, so I can see why.
That's not the nicest thing in the world. You're talking about me saying the Soviet Union. You say it looks like a sack? I mean,
no, cool. It's like from Joe Brenner when he was a Cossack.
You look like a sack. And
no, I
Shannon's going to kick all of our asses. I'm sorry.
C-U-S-A-C-K,
I don't condone any of this tomfoolery, Shannon.
A Cossack. Remember Joe Brenner?
What is wrong with you guys talking about sacks? This is like the third time I've heard
Bro,
sack on your show.
thank you.
You got to talk to these two about it.
I got to be in here with
He's the
these
one
guys.
that baseball player put his sack on Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
And Michael Tucker.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But that's a pertinent story. He's not. Byron didn't in his story. He didn't call our guest a sack, Thom Ortiz. You just called Shannon a sack.
I called him a sack of money.
I'm sorry, Shannon.
Sack of gold. He's a sack of gold.
Shannon, I want to take the last minute here and make sure that me and you can squash our beef.
Who's talking?
This is Dallas.
Dallas, I got no beef with you.
Oh, okay, good. Because
about?
Efren was trying to get us in that heel hook contest years back.
Yeah, man, dude. Didn't I just see you at a show recently?
Yeah.
Like in the last few months, and I came up, shook your hand, said
You
hi.
did.
I mean, dude.
But I just wanted to make it public so that way everybody knows.
Dude, come on.
Yeah, it's
right,
always important to go pubic.
Public. When is this event, Shannon? We got April 4th, correct?
Slip.
Yeah, April 4th, man. Look, it's live on UFC Fight Pass. If you can't watch it live, come watch it, stream live it. On UFC Fight
What
Pass.
casino's it at?
The Quechan. The Q in Yuma.
Oh, the Q.
So we'll be there, Shannon. Just let us know how we can get the tickets from you, and we'll make it happen, bro.
It's a nice casino.
Send me a message via Facebook Messenger, and just and tell me how many you need, and I'll hook you guys up.
You're the man, Shannon.
Well, hey, Shannon, I'm gonna tell you what.
Can I
best of
tweet
luck,
you?
buddy.
You use Twitter?
Best of luck, Shannon. Tom's out of control. Best of luck to you, bro.
Hey, best of
right,
luck
thanks,
to you,
guys.
man, and good luck. Hopefully, we'll see you in here soon.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Shannon the Cannon Ritch, big fight coming up, M1. Did the bare knuckles thing.
This guy's been around forever.
He's fought everybody. He's been fighting so damn long that the Russia still was the old Soviet Union. That's why I said it, damn it!
You're right.
All right, we got to wrap things up here for this segment, folks. But when we come back, we have Steven Wonderboy Thompson joining us. Oh, he guarantee you this time. Guarantee. I give my Soviet guarantee.
You're so
the old Soviet Union.
You guys clearly don't watch
I must
wrestling
break
here.
him.
You clearly
I
don't watch
must
wrestling
break
because they
him.
still refer to it as the Soviet Union in professional wrestling.
I must break him.
We'll be back here on MMA Fight Radio here at the True Story Studios in glorious old Soviet Union. We'll be back after the break.
Today, Rob is the man. He's headed to work for a promotion. Rob doesn't realize the importance of a reliable warranty. Any make, model, or mileage. $500 to $1,000 less than the dealers. Don't let an unexpected repair ruin your day. Today, Rob is not the man, but tomorrow he can be. Call 1-866-352-4999 for a free quote or go to nationwidewarranties.com.
bar sells a fight.
Saturday, April 27th, live from SAP Center in San Jose. The opening round of Bellator's welterweight Grand Prix continues when the champ Rory McDonald
with that elbow strike
takes on dangerous challenger John Finch. Plus, undefeated flyweight champion Alima Lay McFarland looks for her third title defense against Vida Ortega.
I am the best in the world. Nobody's going to take this belt from me.
Bellator MMA, live April 27th from SAP Center in San Jose. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com.
Hi, I'm Di with the Di for Gourmet Caramel Corn, and we're based out of Avondale. We have been with Barterworks now about 5 years or so. Had some great bargains that we get by bartering. For instance, our shirts, my hats, bartered. Been on vacation because you know you can only work so much and you got to get out of here. So I can't say enough about the company or Lori, who is the owner. She has always gone above and beyond, and the times that maybe she didn't have something available, found it. So if you're on the fence about barter, don't be. Give Lori and Barterworks a shot. You won't be disappointed.
Are you paying unexpected costly repair bills on your car? Need an extended auto warranty? Look no further than Nationwide Auto Warranties. Any make, model, or mileage vehicles, they've got you covered. Protect yourself now or pay for costly repairs later. We obtain factory-like coverage for your used vehicle. Extend your original factory warranty. Most vehicles, makes, and models qualify. Nationwide Auto Warranties average $500 to $1,000 less than dealers. Visit nationwideautowarranties.com or call 623-935-7988 for a free no-obligation quote.
MMA Fight Night Radio is coming to you live from Studio 1A at True Story Studios in Tempe. And now, more from the boys. It's Jay and Dallas.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this show here at MMA Fight Radio has had a little bit of everything. We've had trips to 1983. We've had talks about Michael Jordan getting teabagged.
Yes,
we've had Shannon.
Old Soviet Union.
We've had the old Soviet Union. I mentioned that. We've had Shannon, the old Soviet Union. We have Shannon the Cannon Ritch, who just did a great interview with us.
Yep.
Now we've got the moment that we've all been waiting for, man. I'll tell you what. When it comes to fight, I don't like to admit that I root for fighters on here because it's as a professional, I got to keep somewhat of a bias. But I'm not going to lie to you, gentlemen. Every time this man steps into that octagon, I find myself cheering because not only is he one of the most exciting fighters in the sport today, as a human being, you can't ask for any better than this. The pride of South Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, Wonderboy, Stephen Thompson. He joins us here on the show. Wonderboy, what's happening, my brother?
What is up, my brother? Glad to be on with you guys. Ready to rock and roll, baby.
All right.
I'm ready to rock and
Look at
roll.
that. He came in with some energy, with some
He
heat.
came in with some karate
like
kicks.
it.
Karate kicks.
You got to keep it fresh.
Black belt. He's a black
Got to
belt.
keep the energy flowing.
Speaking of
Kick you in your
fresh,
face.
I got to tell you, Stephen, we were
Watch
having a
out.
talk off the record here, but I got to tell you, man, you spit a phrase out that had everybody in this studio thinking you need to trademark that and make millions of more dollars than you've already made. I'm going to allow you to use that phrase because it was too good for me to say. And you said it with the pitch and delivery of a Mariano Rivera fastball. I mean, it was amazing. So
Are you talking about the shut your butt?
yes, sir. Shut your butt.
Shut your butt.
All right. Well, it's already been taken. I don't know if you guys. I'm a huge movie buff, so I don't know if you guys have seen McGruber. Have you seen the movie McGruber?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right, check it out. The phrase is in there, and that's where I got it from. So. It's probably already trademarked, but I use it all the time.
Stephen, let me tell you, McGruber don't got nothing on Stephen Thompson. And ladies and gentlemen, this man is going to try to shut and probably successfully shut Anthony Pettis' butt up coming up here on March 23rd. Big fight for you, UFC Fight Night, Nashville, Tennessee. Stephen, I mean, with that weight class, the welterweight division being front and center, to me, this is a fight that has fight of the night written all over it. You got a former champ stepping up in weight. What are your thoughts on him as an opponent, and how do you think you match up against him skill-wise?
You know what? I was actually I've been out for almost 7 months. I was trying to find a fight here and there, trying to fight Lawler, I think RDA, Ponzinibbio. None of these guys wanted to fight. And then I was actually headed to Denver, Colorado on a snowboarding trip, took my phone off airplane mode, and my phone was blowing up. I'm like, what is going on? And I see that Anthony Pettis has called me out, which I think is awesome, man. I've always been a big fan of his anyway because we have a very similar style, Taekwondo style. And now it's Taekwondo style versus karate style, me being the karate guy. But I think it's awesome, man. This fight excites me so much. Number one, you got a lot of 155ers moving up to this weight class and doing work. Donald Cerrone's one of them. You have Michael Chiesa just submitted Carlos Condit. and now you got this 155er who's an exciting fighter, got a huge highlight reel coming up and calling me out. So I am excited, my friend. And to be honest with you, the last, besides Darren Till, I think, Masvidal, most of my career have been against wrestlers, you know. And when I had the chance to go out there and put on a show, doing what I love to do, which is the striking world, man, it just excites me. It fires me up. It pumps me up, man. And I just can't wait to step out there in the octagon and perform in front of you guys again.
Look, I mean, that was kind of where I was going to go with it. You know, a lot of times you've been in matchups that maybe haven't been as favorable for you as this one has. For you, you got length, you got size, and you guys are both great strikers. Do you even see any world in which this goes to the ground?
You know what? No, but I am prepared. I am prepared for that. I mean, pretty much everybody that I face, except for Till, has tried to take me down. You know, they try once. I know Masvidal tried a few times. Rory McDonald tried several times. I am prepared for that, but I do think this fight is going to be stay standing. We have a disagreement on who's got the better striking, and to be honest with you, anybody can step out in that octagon and put you away, put you to sleep. You know, you're wearing these small, little 4-ounce gloves, or probably smaller than that. It just touches you on the side of the head, out you go. So, you know, everybody's saying, man, you're just going to go out there and crush this guy. But for my mindset, I'm preparing. I'm preparing as if this guy is the best welterweight in the division, like I always have. So, you know what? I'm going to go out there and do what I do, and we're going to put on a dang show. I'll tell you that. And you know, he's got his movement. Like I said, we have very similar styles. He throws a lot of kicks. I know I'm faster than him. I got a longer reach. I work better angles. I just think I got this. I'm gonna knock Anthony Pettis out.
I mean, speaking of the 170-pound division and a huge fight for you, look, Tyron Woodley just lost. Usman's there now. It almost just opens things up wide open for you again. When you look at the division and you see things like that, how do you think that this fight right here will propel you into or back into that position you want to be in for that title?
Well, that's something that I talked to my coaches about when this fight started coming to fruition. Like, how is this fight going to keep moving me towards that title? And literally, number one, Anthony Pettis, he's got a huge backing, a big following. He was the former 155 champ. So the guy's got a name. Do I think it's going to propel me forward? No. But is it going to put me back in the UFC in the fans' eyes? Yes. And if I go out there and put on a show, like I know I can, that will put the UFC, you know, looking at me again, saying, you know what, this guy's fired up. You know, he's back in the octagon. I'm still ranked number 4. I mean, there's only, you know, 3 guys in front of me. Right. The former welterweight champion, number 1, was Tyron Woodley. I think Colby Covington and Till, I think, is 2. So he's getting ready to fight this weekend. But to be honest, just to get me back in front of the UFC and in front of the fans, and which I think this is pretty cool because this fight happened through social media, which is awesome because it goes to show that the fans can, the fighters can still make their own fights, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, especially with this this weekend coming up. Last weekend we had, you know, the 170 title changed. You got this weekend coming up with Till and Masvidal, and you also had Ben Askren stepped in last week too, and won and beat Robbie Lawler. So it's kind of a toss up there. How do you see this playing out? Do you see that it's going to be Usman Covington and then Till fighting, or the winner of the Till Masvidal maybe taking on Askren, or do you think maybe if you get this win, maybe Askren's up for you? I mean, where do you see the division going, and do you have any maybe inside baseball for us?
You know what? To be honest with you, I have no dang clue.
I knew he was going to say that. I think this is Tommy Alvejo Ortiz. I think you're focused on Pettis. I think you're going to beat him. That's my opinion. But it's a 2-part question. Number 1, I heard you say you were prepared if it went to the ground. And the first part question is, how are you preparing that? Like, who are you preparing with if it hits the ground? And number 2, what is your prediction for the fight that night?
For my fight?
Yes, sir. but those
Okay,
as a
so-
two-part question. I want to know how you're preparing. For if you could hit the ground, like who you're preparing with, and number two, what is your prediction for the fight?
Okay, number one, so if the fight, number one, I have some high-level wrestlers that I bring in to help me get ready for the fight.
Is
After all of my
Weidman?
fights.
Is Weidman?
I normally go up to New York to train with Chris Weidman, but he just had neck surgery again a few months ago. They had to go in through the front of his neck, and I don't know if they fused anything together or took one of his discs out. So he has gotten to the point after his fight against Jacare, which was just crazy. He ended up hurting his neck again, so he's been out. He's been losing some sensitivity and or some feeling in his left arm. Hasn't been able to work, so he had to go back in. So I wasn't able to use Chris Weidman this time. But I have one of my buddies, one of my main sparring partners. He's a 205er. The guy moves like a lightweight, but he's the wrestling coach at Limestone University up there, and his MMA wrestling is amazing. Of course, I have Carlos Machado, the legendary Carlos Machado, which is who's my brother-in-law. So I get him whenever I want. So he married my sister, so I get him whenever I want. If he doesn't, he's gonna.
He married your sister, and then Chris Weidman married your other sister.
No, so what happened was my older sister married Carlos Machado. They have 4 kids together, and they all started the martial arts at the age of 3. And then I have a younger brother who actually came to New York. I think it was I was helping Chris Weidman prepare for the Ultimate Cheetah. And my brother Tony wanted to come up and hang out. Chris was like, sure, dude, bring him up. So me and my brother Tony went up there, and I didn't even know Chris had a sister.
Oh, good job, Tony. Right?
So he went up there, and they just hit it off, man. Next thing you know, she was moving down to South Carolina. They get married. Now they have a kid together. So everybody's like, dude, is this like a planned marriages? Like, what's going on?
Where's the contract?
Married, like, these months,
Can I be the agent for the kids?
That's one hell of a family tree, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 11 nieces and nephews, and they all started training at 3, man.
Well, you're blessed.
It's mandatory.
So what's your prediction? I want to know what your prediction is for the fight.
Well, you know, I never like to predict what round, but I have a feeling there's going to be a knockout. Now, normally I don't do this, but I have a feeling there's going to be a knockout. I'm not really sure which round, but I always prepare myself mentally because I've learned growing up in the fight world, you know, when you go out there trying to knock somebody out and it doesn't happen, it kind of messes with you mentally. Or you could tire yourself out trying. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm prepared for a 5-minute round war. I got this feeling, man, that my right foot's going to land upside his head. That's going to be it.
I like it.
So I hear Thompson by KO.
Yeah. I think I like that spinning heel kick.
Oh, man. I've been working it, too. I've been keeping on the hush-hush. I've been working it.
Right.
I've been working that spinning heel kick.
You got some viewers, though.
You might see it. And what's crazy is that Anthony Pettis loves to throw these crazy stuff, too. So I like the fact, which excites me, is that I can prepare for this guy. I can watch all of his films, but he's a smart guy. He's always preparing. He's always getting better. So it's my job to go out there and adapt to whatever he brings, you know, and that's why I fall in love with. I'm in love with this game.
What's your opinion of the Robbie Lawler Askren stoppage in the fight itself?
You know what? It was such a. I feel bad for Dean, to be honest with you, because that was a hard call. That was a very hard call. I thought he was out, to be honest with you.
What, do you think it was the correct call,
off,
right?
Dropping. Say that again?
Do you think it was the correct call, though?
That's hard. I think it was. I mean, you know, Dean, these guys are out there to make sure that to keep you safe. And when I saw Robbie Lawler's hand hit the mat, like he didn't just set his hand down. It just like fell onto the mat. So I thought it was out. You know, if you go back and watch it, he had his hand up high and it just kind of falls to the mat. I'm like, wow, he must be out. And then when Dean shook his hand, I had to go back and watch it, but he did kind of give a thumbs up. And then he stopped it. I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was almost like his hand was kind of towards him. So like, it was kind of hidden behind Ben Askren's back. I don't know if Dean saw it or not. So we went in to stop it. But as soon as he let go, I'm like, dude, he was not out. He was not out. So I don't know if they're going to run it back or not.
When you look at
they might run it back.
When you look at that, right? I mean, you're somebody who's probably been into many chokes in your training days, Do you even see an exit for Robbie Lawler right there, though, other than maybe he lets go or time runs out?
There is several techniques that you can do. Now, I'm pretty sure Ben Askren is prepared for all of them. I mean, the guy is such a freaking
With the vice
freak,
grip.
man. Grappler. I mean, he grabs your toe and it's over. You know, he looks to grab a hold of whatever he can get a hold of. If it's your pinky, if it's your pinky toe, if he grabs you, you're not getting away. And he's got this dad bod that, you know, it's so funny. You stand up there next to Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler's jacked, and he's got this dad bod, but I hear the guy is ridiculously strong. So there are several ways to get out of that, but would he have gotten out of it? I don't know. I mean, Ben Askren is such a high-level wrestler. It's hard to say.
This is crazy to me. This is Byron Browne, by the way. I have a question for you for training purposes on things for the people who are listening in. I'm hearing chokeholds. I'm hearing on the mat. I'm hearing striking. I am curious to know, what training do you do to strengthen up your fingers, hands, legs, even down to your feet, to even get yourself in a situation to where if you have a grown man that's trying to get away from you, what training are you doing to just ensure that he's not going to get out of your chokehold? This is impressive because I'm a baseball player and I'm listening in on, you know, strength with core and legs and all that stuff. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, you know, number one, there's a conditioning process that you go through when you start doing MMA or just jiu-jitsu, or especially the grappling parts, because we are talking about grappling. So wrestling and jiu-jitsu, there's a conditioning process that you go through from day one up until you fight. And in that conditioning process of just doing these drills over and over, you know, there's some little things, small things that you can do off to the side. I do a lot of rice work. I ended up breaking both of my thumbs during the Masvidal fight.
Wow.
And so I ended up breaking both my thumbs in the first, I think it was the first round. And even before I broke my thumbs, I always did rice work. So I have a bucket of rice that I have at the school, and I've got different exercises to burn those forearms, to burn those grips, just to make that grip stronger. Because to be honest with you, even though I'm ranked number 4, I'm still kind of playing catch up in this MMA game. I'm still considered one of the last specialists, you know, because I did kickboxing for so long.
Well, I know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I know from playing baseball. I'm very familiar with the rice technique. It's funny that you said that because I didn't think anybody else would use it, but it makes a lot of sense with you as a fighter and grappling. Strength comes from the hands, man. I mean, strength. If you can grab somebody, that's like one of the things that I could do as throwing a baseball. I threw 100 miles an hour, and it was mostly from forearm and strength. And when I had Tommy John surgery, that was the first thing I would do. I'd get a dipstick or a stick or a pencil and do reps all the way down to the bottom. Does that sound familiar? All the way down to the bottom of the rice bucket, all the way back up. Do it 3 sets of 25, 50 until it burns. That is crazy.
And I think it's crucial that, and a lot of these guys, MMA fighters, they don't even think about it. Another thing that a lot of these fighters don't think about, and I do this on a regular basis because I come from a old school karate background, is hand conditioning. There's a lot of fighters out there. I mean, Anthony Pettis I think he's broken his right hand several times. Uriah Faber's broken his hand numerous times. But on a regular basis, I do hand conditioning. I have a makiwara. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a maki.
No.
A maki is a wooden post.
Okay.
It's a wooden post and with a piece of leather wrapped around it up top. And that's where I do my hand conditioning. And then it's got two pieces of tire connected to the bottom. It's kind of flared out, where I use to condition my skin on my shins.
So basically, do you get so pretty much you're a lethal weapon, man. And you get your shins, like honestly,
he'll kick you in your face from far away.
I got hit
That's lethal enough.
I got hit with a baseball. Hunter knocked me out. But
he's going to kick it with his shin.
I got to show you his UFC debut fight. You know, you should mention 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I swear to God, this guy has a 100-mile-an-hour kick because
that is insane.
His opponent, he knocked his opponent. I mean, it was violent. I'll show you this off the record.
I didn't even see the ball that knocked me out. I mean, let alone like you
got hit by a fastball?
No, I was rehabbing in A-ball, and my catcher tried to throw the runner out at the mound when I when
He
he
was too
stealing
tall.
first.
I've been there.
And I got knocked out, man.
Yeah.
He got knocked up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, one of my coaches said that afterwards
That's
too.
not
but
cool.
I did get knocked out, and I got the loss in that game. I threw 3 pitches and got the L.
Here's a question for you,
That
Steve.
reminds me of the Sandlot when the guy's like, he threw a high, fast one and pow. Like,
Yeah.
that scares me. You know
But
what I mean?
the thing is, you don't even see it or feel it. You just wake up, and I woke up and I was like, "What? Did the catcher just hit me with the ball?" And I literally was like, "He did." And the guy that stole the second is standing on third, and I'm like, trainers and stuff right there. I got this big egg on the back of my head, and I'm looking at the catcher, and I actually went after him, tried to fight him. I did. I literally did.
You try to fight your own catcher?
Yeah, because he hit me, knocked me out. He threw it's one of those things where you just you're a professional athlete, and you have to sit up there and go, "How did you hit me with that?"
Yeah, true.
But no,
man.
conditioning
Man, where's
wise,
the accuracy at, boy?
Well, conditioning is like I'm sure you bleed out of your eyes. I mean, that was one of my big things on being able to have stamina, to throw 9 innings, and be able to throw. And that I'm curious to know, like just hand strength, feet strength, all the things that people don't, when they go to the gym, you know they're not going to sit there and strengthen their fingers or stretch their fingers to try and be better than their opponent. They don't see that little stuff like that, Even I'm sure that, your shoulder strength, if someone grabs you, to get out of a position where your neck, just trying to wrench yourself out of a move is to me is amazing, because I know that the little things that you guys do to strengthen up, but I'm sure that your audience, they're like, well, he probably just lifts weights, bench presses, blah, blah, blah. But, man, to get down to it, I'm sure you probably do fingertip push-ups and appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man, and it, because one thing my dad always says in a fight, what part of your body do you not want in shape? You know what I'm saying? If it's your pinky toe, if it's your fingers, what part of your body do you not want in shape? You want all of it in shape,
Yeah.
So your grip, I mean,
My
we
pubic
do
hair.
stuff with our feet.
Oh, God.
Hey, there's a girl in here, dog.
Sorry, Steve.
Apologies for Mr. Ortiz.
I don't know.
He's been off the rails all night today,
Yeah, I
man.
don't know. I didn't eat any
I love
granola. I should have ate the granola.
All right, so here, to get this back on a little bit. All right,
Just
Michael.
saying.
Now we're in a new home at True Story Studios, and we can do video, we can do audio, and I want to do a little test. Next time you're in Arizona, we've got a former Major League pitcher in the house. We've got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who's got some of the fastest hands and kicks. What we should do is do a video, Michael. What is faster, a Major League Baseball pitcher's fastball or Stephen Thompson's kick?
Oh, I bet you his kick.
That would be, interesting.
Dude, yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. Wait, who was the guy that had like the fastest kick in the world? I'm pretty sure
Stephen
Bloodsport
Thompson
was made after this guy.
Stephen
Who was
Tom,
it?
Wonderboy.
Stephen Thompson had the fastest
Stephen
kicks in the world.
You know what? You
Sell
guys
it.
said it.
Sell
It's
it.
me, man.
Sell it.
Got the fastest freaking kicks in the world.
But, do you have a question?
No,
Oh, I have a. You know what? Do you think he's going to try and take you down? Because isn't Israel Martinez his wrestling coach? I'm just a question.
Yeah, I mean, he is.
did answer
And
Oh, you
but
asked me.
when I go back and look, I mean, his wrestling. He's never really. He submitted most of his guys being taken down, actually.
Sure.
So being off of his back, I mean, he submitted Michael Chiesa. He submitted some high-level grapplers, but he doesn't look for the takedown that often, and his takedown percentage isn't up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So I don't see him taking me down. But if it does happen, I'm ready to get back up to my feet and keep the fight where I
Or
feel
you'll
more
defend the
comfortable with just
takedown.
standing.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
Say that again?
Well, you'll just defend the takedown. Just knee him in the face.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
disqualifications
Sometimes
for
it's only
that.
take a dang knee to the face.
Yes. So, Steve, earlier I was asking you the question, and I want to see if you give me an answer this time for real. The 170-pound division after this weekend, where do you think it stands? Who do you think is up next for the title, and who do you think is the number one contender?
Well, right now, the number one contender, I believe, is of course Tyron, but you got Colby Covington that's going to be fighting for the title next. I'm pretty sure Dana White says a lot of stuff and it doesn't happen, but this is what he's saying. Colby Covington's going to get the next shot, and then after that, it's kind of up in the air. And my goal this year is to work my way up to that spot. After Anthony Pettis, they have a card coming to my hometown of Greenville, South Carolina, which I'm looking to fight on, which is literally 3 months later. So after this fight, I'll go out there, put on a show, come out unscathed without any injuries. I'll be fighting again 8 weeks later in my hometown. So hopefully, somebody in the top 5, somebody in the top 10, I don't care. If it's Robbie Lawler, because I know he fought Askren and he came out unscathed. And from what I hear, Ben Askren is calling out Dan too. So, I mean, there's so much going on in this division, and it's actually been held up for a little while because of the whole Colby Covington and Usman debacle.
Right.
Who was going to be fighting for the title. So nobody was really taking a whole lot of fights because it could be them, or it could be me, or it could be you. They're saying it might be Colby Covington or Usman, but I might be able to jump up there. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've had such a hard time getting a fight. It's because everybody's kind of holding off to see what's next,
Plus,
so,
you already had in a fight. You fought the champion twice already, so it's good for you now that the title switched hands because now that gives you a fresh board to look at, right?
Exactly. And anybody in that top 5 that I could be facing to get to that next spot. So after Anthony Pettis, don't know who I'll be fighting June 22nd in my hometown, but hopefully I'm still looking for the Robbie fight, man, because I think we would put on a good show too. I've been a big fan of his for a while now as well. I've been wanting to fight him since he had the title. I had just beaten Roy McDonald. He was the champion, was getting ready to fight Tyron, and I was just so looking forward to that fight, but it never happened. So, yeah, man, that would be a cool fight, I think.
So, from the perspective of not just winning a fight, but with the division becoming seemingly more and more stacked by the day, you've got guys like we've talked about, already with Tyron and Usman and Covington, Lawler, guys in the up and up like Ponzinibbio, Mike Perry. Do you feel like you have to come into this fight and not just win, but win decisively and emphatically with another one of your world-class knockouts to show, look, the Wonderboy is very much in that title picture, and I'm not going away anytime soon?
You know what? That is my mindset exactly. I got to go out there and I got to put on a show. I got to finish Pettis. If I do this in a good fashion, these guys will be like, you know what? Let's move Steven up. Let's get him a top 5 guy, or let's get him, Kill again, or could be Usman. I'm ranked number 4, so you can just throw me up there. I don't care. So that's my mindset exactly.
I like that Robbie fight, man. As a fan, I love that Robbie fight. I think that's a fight that could happen. You guys are both, especially if you come out of this the way you think you should be. Robbie's still healthy. I think that's a fantastic fight.
Thank you, man. I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Steven, do you know what a mantis shrimp is?
Wait, say that again?
Do you know what a mantis shrimp is?
A mantis shrimp?
Yeah, they've got like 16 different colors that we don't even see, and they have the fastest punch in the world. And I think that if you don't have a name for your kick, you should call it the mantis shrimp kick or the mantis kick, whichever one works for you.
I know what you're talking about. I saw it on the Discovery Channel. And don't they they're so fast they shoot like an air bubble and stuns their whatever they're trying to eat, right?
Yeah, It'll crack an oyster right in half.
What? All right.
I'm going to tell you, when you started asking
this,
much love for you, that. When you started asking this, I'm thinking to myself, all right, this is unique in the show that had talking about the old Soviet Union, but that was good. That was
the
impressive.
mantis shrimp I like better than the old Soviet Union and the Berlin Wall.
They're like, Steven, I want to see this mantis kick and this mantis shrimp kick, okay?
Yeah, you better start
the mantis kick shirt. You're gonna make them. You're gonna make them shirts, man.
I'm kind of hungry now.
I'll buy 10 of them if you make them, Steven. I'll buy 10 of them.
Yeah, we got mantis kick and shut your butt shirts.
shut your butt. You gotta say it like that. Shut your butt.
Shut your butt.
So see, Steven, I've told you many times, man. If you need Hatchet, man, we're your Huckleberry, man. We'll be your one-man height. Well, I said one man. That's like 5 men and a woman height machine. Let me know anytime, brother.
I got you. Hey, next time I'm there, man, I'm coming to hang out with you guys. So
you better.
You have fun, dog.
You better. I mean, just let me know whenever you're in town again, or let Penny know, or find out. Get my number from Penny, or I'll get yours from her, and we'll set something up, man. We'll have a good time.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate it, man.
We'll make sure I have a bag of granola for you.
All right, brother. Well, hey,
Homie's
I
fuel.
appreciate, first of all, you taking time to call us back. I know you were teaching your dad's class earlier, and you were very apologetic, but you taking time out of your busy schedule with a big fight coming up. That's why you're my favorite, Steven. Thank you for everything
Nice
you
to
do,
meet you,
brother.
my man.
Hey, guys, always a pleasure. I love hanging out with you guys, and it's always fun chatting with you. So I just appreciate it, my friend, and I hope you guys have a great night.
God bless.
Thanks, you too.
The king of the mantis kick.
Man.
The mantis.
Fantastic individual. I have to say it every time. Don't we always have to say it every time?
He gives a great
fantastic
interview.
dude.
I absolutely, and I'm not saying this, I mean this in the most human possible way. I love that guy, man. That guy is such a good dude. And you can't say that about a lot of fighters in the
Look,
sport.
we know a ton of them, don't we?
No, we know more fighters than we can keep track of. And Dallas, you could say
They're not all that way.
not all are Stephen Thompson, man. A lot of these fighters are great fighters, but that's where the line ends. Stephen Thompson, he's a guy that you can't help but see yourself rooting for because, number one, he's such a nice, humble, decent guy. But you see him get in there, he does not have boring
You
fights.
want him to date your daughter, like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
he's
my
someone
daughter's
you bring
17.
home.
Maybe you do.
Honey.
My daughter's 16 years old, and believe me, I hope she meets a man half as good as Stephen Thompson is.
Right.
What if she ended up with Stephen?
What? Hey, now.
Well,
Hey, now.
Stephen
she's
Thompson.
17 now.
You're crossing
17,
things
yeah,
off of Jay
Steve-
Boski's bucket list. Right?
Stephen Thompson's a little bit. Stephen Thompson's he's closer to me than he is my daughter, so I might be having a talk with Mr. Thompson about age. But I think he's a happily married man.
Age appropriate.
I think he's a happily married man. So if Stephen
Sorry
Thompson
about
has a
that.
teenage son,
I
feel
don't
free.
think he is.
Hit me up.
Is he married?
Yeah.
No. Is he?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's married. He's married to his jiu-jitsu
Congratulations.
coach is his daughter. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Family, huh?
All right, gentlemen, ladies, it's been a fun, phenomenal, action-packed show. We wrapped it up right. Real quick, Byron, I know you had some business to promote, and I'm going to give you this platform real quick. Let us know what we got. I know you got a big movie.
All right, guys. I'm in a little bit of a movie here called Rotten Tail. Brian Skiba, written by David Hayes. It is a graphic comic book turned into a rated R movie. So I want you guys to come.
Rated R movie.
Yeah, rated R movie. I want you guys to come in, and it's April 12th is release dates in theaters. Just keep an eye out for it. Who's in William McNamara? Dominique Swain, one of the
Lolita.
yeah, she was in Lolita, and she's actually doing a Western right now. And
She wasn't in Lolita. She is Lolita.
yeah, she is Lolita. But
Big J Boski was in a chick named Lolita once.
Corin Nemec's the star, and he is playing Peter Cotton, and I'm playing Larry, and I actually get to hunt the rabbit.
There you go,
You
Larry.
guys get to go to the movies and see if I catch him or not.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'll be
Rotten
there.
Tail.
My wife's listening to this. I'm in the doghouse when I get home.
Oh, no, for sure.
But
Thanks, Tom Ortiz, for coming in.
Yep, and Tom, you got a movie coming out here, Hollywood. Let's talk about that real quick, and then we'll wrap her up.
Yeah.
A documentary that my buddy Shane Allison is the producer. He wrote this book here, 3 Worst Meds. Great book to look
I'm
at.
probably on all 3 of them.
I'm on 6 of them.
One of them's aspirin. Stop taking it. So,
Oh, I'm not on that one. That was
and
too
Matt
weak for
Hickney
me.
is the filmmaker. Oh, really? And then the name of the documentary is El Viejo, and the premiere is May 4th. And we just got the prestigious award
Yeah.
for the best
The
documentary.
Festivus Award for
Festivus Award.
Best documentary for the month of February. So impressed with that, by the
Yeah.
way.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Corbin.
that's fantastic.
Thank you.
by
So
the way.
I see a lot of positive things coming from it, and
Well, you're a
and I was
positive
on
dude.
the Indie Report, and then all I see is
You're a
gold.
positive dude, bro.
Bag
Positive
Yeah.
things
We
happen
got
to
we got
positive people.
tons of positivity. We're more positive
right.
than Magic Johnson's test,
Oh,
ladies
come
and
on.
gentlemen.
Oh,
Hey.
gadoonch.
When's the last time he took one? Because the last time it came up negative.
Oh, there you have it.
This is
True.
true.
But I guess what? 2 positives make a negative.
That's true. That's why I said more
I don't
positives.
know.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great action-packed show from the old Soviet Union here in Tempe, Arizona. We're more positive than Wilt Chamberlain's Black Book, ladies and gentlemen. It's been MMA Fight Radio. I'd like to thank my main man, Michael, for putting up with these shenanigans for 2 hours here at True Story Studios. Also, thanks to our super producer, Penny Buffington, for setting up another great show. We'll be back in approximately 2 weeks' time with just as much madness, just as much insanity, just as much Big J Boski and SDH as you could possibly handle. For the crew, it's the one and only Big J Boski. Thanks to Byron and Harley Quinn for coming in. Thanks to Tom Ortiz for making your presence.
Hey, one quick thing. Do you think you can get out of her
Thank
lock?
you.
Yeah. No, we'll find out
no,
afterwards.
no.
Stick
We'll
around,
do
folks,
that
and we'll find out if Big J Boski can escape Harley's lock. We'll see you soon.
Amen.
What do I get, the neck?